Bam, we're live. 6:58, 2 minutes early. God, it feels good to be home. Yesterday was my first show back at home. I was out of town doing the show from a kitchen in Newport Beach for the last 2 weeks.
I know. I saw that. That background was weird. I missed the couch.
Yeah, I saw someone said that last night in the comments.
There we go.
The
Everything's
couch.
normal. Everything's right again.
Thank you everyone for joining in this morning. This is probably one of the shows that I'm most excited that I've ever done. I don't know if I've ever started a show saying that. I met Garrette through Instagram. The conversation was good. I didn't want to lose the conversation. I asked her if we could take it to text, and we have slowly built a friendship that's gone beyond just the show and just kind of texting each other throughout the day. Good morning, Matt.
Morning.
We've built a friendship, and one of the things about me that gets reminded to me, periodically is just how much I love people and love hearing their stories. I was walking down the street the other day in Newport Beach, and I heard a guy just telling another guy his life story, and I kind of started I went over to go sit close to him just because I wanted to hear his life story. And what I really like about Garrette's story is two things. It's an amazing story of adversity at a level that I don't think most human beings will ever have to deal with. And then also, I think her story will bring a lot of insight into people who just have no fucking clue, that are quick to judge and have no idea what adversity will do to people and the choices that they have to make to overcome that adversity. Because when you go through adversity, there become like two primary pathways of dealing with it, right? You can run from it or you can face it. And I think a lot of us run from it, and that's what we're seeing in society today. And being surrounded, what really got me really, I mean, there's so many pieces to the story that get me, but one of the things she said in the text exchange we had is that she was lucky to be surrounded by good people who helped her face it as opposed to run from it. And run from it means instead of dealing with it, you go to the refrigerator and eat something, for example, or that would be the most mundane thing that I think most of us are familiar with it, as opposed to going inward and kind of like facing, oh shit, this is going to be a reoccurring thought. And here's another way of running from it. You're addicted to cigarettes. Instead of dealing with that addiction, you just keep smoking more cigarettes. And so we're in a time, I think, on the planet, at least basic on the things that I've been focused on, is that a lot of people are running from it. And unfortunately, the people who've run from it and dealt with these problems from running from it are also now facilitating that other people run from it. And most importantly, they're helping kids run from their problems instead of deal with these issues. And I don't want to say I'm extremely proud of the show. She sent me a text and I read it to my mom, and I told her it was the crowning achievement of this show, because through listening to the show, it jostled some of her thinking to maybe look at things differently. And so I was just extremely tickled by that. Is that a fair characterization?
You've challenged me for a long time. Probably.
Why would you keep listening? Why wouldn't you just Are you glutton for punishment?
Yeah, she likes to torture.
No, I mean, I always watched you way back when you used to do the CrossFit podcast, and honestly, I think the Stacy Tovar interview that you did, like, my wife loved that interview, and I loved that interview, and I thought it was an amazing interview for women, just athletic women, moms, like the whole 9 yards. And so when it came out that you were getting crap for that, I was like, what? And so you kept saying stuff that just used to piss me off to no end. But like, I knew you were a good dude, and I liked your CrossFit content, and I liked 99% of what, it was just that 1%. I was like, oh, Sevan. And I think I DM'd you so many times, like, dude, really? And you didn't answer me to begin with, but then you started answering me.
Well, you've helped me a lot too, because it's one thing to talk about it from far away, and as we get to know you today, it's another thing to be like, hey, dude, these are real issues. It's not just fucking like, hey, it's not easy. It's not. It's easy for me to sit here in my show and be like, hey, what the fuck, can't you see it this way? But it's another thing when it's your life.
Well, I was raised very. I was raised by my grandparents for the most part, and my grandfather, Marine Corps to the end. You know, there's no ex-Marine. You're Marine. You're always a Marine, and conservative, hardcore conservative. Every day was Fox News was on the television show, like just even my uncle, like we're all kind of learned from my grandfather, and my grandmother was the same way and super religious, and so I brought up that way, and I held I'm a registered Republican, and then God, somewhere around I want to say early 20s, started going way liberal, right? Because I'm half Black, I'm a lesbian, like all these things that are supposed to make you liberal. I check every single one of those boxes. And I went super woke when it was woke time, and God, watching you, like, really, like, I was challenged. Like, I was challenged in my beliefs, and I was challenged, and you challenged me all the time. And then that Xavier DeRusso interview, God, that hit me like a ton of bricks. I think that was the one I wrote to you. And I was like, okay, I give up. That's it. Like, I got to go back to what I actually believe and not what is being force fed to me by a group that I guess I'm supposed to be linked to.
I don't want to well, eventually I want to get back and start at the very beginning, from your birth. But when you say that you give up, was there a parallel to that, to also realizing that you were a lesbian also? Like that there's a point when like you also had to give up and be like, fuck it, I'm not going to masquerade anymore as being straight. I'm a fucking lesbian. Like,
Yeah.
Was it kind of like a similarity? Okay, it's done. I'm not fighting that anymore.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. You could absolutely draw those two things, connect those two things. It's just funny because it was like I had my original core beliefs, and then I got away from them, and then now I'm like, no, my core beliefs weren't wrong. Like they might have needed tweaking, but they were right for the most part. I never like was straight, then gay, then went back to being straight. If you want to,
you were masquerading as straight. And then finally it became exhausting. So you just like, fuck it, I give up. I'm lesbian.
Yeah, pretty well. I mean, I didn't masquerade well. I'm 6 feet tall and play basketball, but
right.
I tried.
Right. And you have red hair.
No, keep saying it. My wife has red hair.
But I thought I've seen pictures of you when your hair was curly on top.
Yeah, I mean,
like bigger than like a traditional, Black person's curls, like kind of like a hybrid between a Jew Black curl.
I had them out before, but yeah, like I can get froey if you want to get froey.
But it's not red. Okay, it's not red. And then you have freckles, because when I looked at you, I was like, oh, she's kind of like a Canelo Mexican. I pictured you as kind of like this redheaded Black gal.
Well, I wish I had red hair. It's beautiful.
But you don't. Yeah.
No, I get blonde in the summer. I can get blonde. Like I'll have that Justin Timberlake like blonde tip thing happen, but that's it.
Okay. And you do have freckles.
A little bit.
Yeah. And did you have freckles as a kid?
A little bit.
And
yeah.
they
same ones. Yeah.
Okay. Well, where were you born? What state were you born in?
New York. But the red part of New York. I was born in Utica.
Okay, that's like upstate. That's out of the city.
Yeah, by Syracuse.
Okay. And your mom was Black, or your dad was Black?
My dad's Black.
Dad was Black. And how did they meet?
My mom actually went to Mohawk Valley Community College in Utica, and that's where my dad's family is from, is Utica.
And is it your mom's dad that was the Marine, or your dad's dad that was the Marine?
My mom's dad.
And what did he think when your whitey mom married your blackie dad?
I don't know how. My grandfather was never like. I don't know. I think he was just more or less mad that his 19-year-old daughter came home pregnant, but I don't think he cared whether he was black or white. Just like, why are you pregnant? You're supposed to be in school. Like,
right. 19's too young.
Yeah.
And you were you there first?
Yeah, and only.
Okay, so you're born, and they end up not staying together, obviously, because you get raised by your grandparents.
Well, they didn't stay together because my dad kind of repopulated the East Coast and has a bunch of different kids. And
gotcha.
So then my mom went home to her parents, and and then my mom had some of her own issues, so I ended up getting raised by my grandparents.
And how many kids does your dad have?
There's 6 of us all together.
And are you acquainted with that side of the family?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Wow.
There's only one brother. He's the second to last, and I only have pictures of him as a baby. I've never met him. I don't even know if he knows who we are.
So 5 of them you're acquainted with.
Yeah, there's 5 of us. We're all pretty tight.
So okay, so you are pretty tight with them. And in your Instagram, it's private. That's why I didn't send you any links, Souza. In your Instagram, by the way, I use pictures from your Instagram as the thumbnail.
Yeah, you found the one picture of me dressed like a girl. Like, there's like only 4 in the world, and you found the one.
I liked what you wrote in there. Look, I'm wearing a skirt, and it's like in the shot's cropped, and you can't even tell you're wearing a skirt.
I looked at my wife. I'm like, he found one of the 4 pictures on the planet where I'm in a skirt.
I will change that if any of those bother you. Okay, because last night I was thinking, her account's private, and I'm stealing pictures off her account.
Funny. Go for it. Yeah.
Okay.
Defeating the purpose there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Doxing.
I also went to I went to Colleen's account. I went to your wife's account, and hers was private too, because I was like, okay, if hers is open, then I'll just take the pictures from hers. And then finally I was like, all right, fuck it.
Susan, you can go on my account if you want. It's fine. I don't care. I just we're not in like social media people. So
do you have your phone with you now?
Yeah, I can let him on.
Yeah, could you? That would be awesome.
Yeah.
So what happened?
Can you send me your handle in the private chat?
See, this is so okay.
I can send it to you. I can send it to you too.
Yeah, please.
Yeah, if you want to blast it, then I'll.
We're so prepared here.
I'll request.
Give me 1 second here. The reason why I bring up the family is you seem family oriented. Yeah. There are a lot of pictures of your family in there. Pictures of your grandfather, pictures of your dad, pictures of your kid, pictures of your Mema. Is that your grandmother? Is that what you call your grandmother?
Mima. Yeah, that's grandma.
Mima.
Yep.
And so you do have family around you.
Mm-hmm.
And you've gone through a lot of stuff, and so I picture you wouldn't have a lot of family around you.
No, my grandparents were the greatest. Like they always, big family Christmas things, big family Thanksgiving things, 4th of July, huge, just family barbecue reunion. I mean, they made it as normal as possible for me growing up.
And so you're an only child being raised by your Marine grandfather and your Mima.
Yep.
And that starts right away, basically, just from birth.
No, well, they took my mother and I in, basically at that 6-week checkup that you get. My mom got that 6-week checkup, got on a train, went from Utica back to Long Island. And then, we all lived together. Like, it was kind of like they took care of her by proxy, taking care of me.
Okay. So your mom lived at the house too. So it wasn't like you didn't have your mom.
No, I didn't. My mom had her issues somewhere around 12. It was like 12. I went to go live with my grandparents full time without my mom.
Okay. And there's pictures of you also in there of you as a little girl. And you look like the little girl version of you. You almost like haven't. How old are you now?
41.
Okay, so you almost haven't changed. You just got taller.
Yeah.
God, in those pictures, it looked like you had red hair too, or at least I guess maybe
I was
blonde
very
hair.
blonde. I was
Okay.
blonde as a kid.
Okay. Has anyone else ever accused you of having red hair besides me?
No, just you.
Oh, shit. Shit. I've had that debate with other. Your son has red hair.
Yeah, he can go. He's like red, blondish. Yeah, that. She's not as red as my wife. My wife is like straight ginger. But
Yeah,
yeah, he's
she's
got
got
some
great
red in
hair.
there.
You have a beautiful wife, by the way. Congratulations.
Thank you. I know I lucked out.
So, you're born, you're living in Utica. You're with your grandparents, and as you get old, and let's say, when do you start? Is there a point when you're like, hey, something's different about me than the other kids? Like I have a different energy. I'm on a different wavelength.
I know a
Something's
lot
not
of.
gelling. I'm not connecting.
I know a lot of. A lot of the gay community will probably say that they knew when they were like 5. I definitely did not know. I literally, I was just
Did you
figuring
not
out
know
that
because you didn't even think about it
I
and you were
didn't care.
5?
No,
Yeah.
I was,
Yeah. Right.
no. My mother put me in brownies. I knew I hated that because I had to wear this stupid brown skirt and the sash, and I didn't like that. But I wasn't like, oh, I'm different because I don't like the skirt. I just was like, I don't like this crap. I want to go do something else. Like, I want to go
Right.
I wanted to play with the boys. I lived in a cul-de-sac full of boys. They were all outside playing, tackle football in the yard with no shoes on. You would approve of that. And I just wanted to be doing that. We were playing King of the Raft. We lived by a pond. There was a big dock in the pond. We would all go outside, wrestle on the dock, who could throw each other off the dock. Like I didn't know anything. There was nothing to know. We weren't supposed to be figuring that out yet.
Right. So it sounds like a healthy childhood. Those weren't the things that were even in your world.
Mm-mm.
And did anyone ever have concern that you were that you shouldn't be roughhousing with the boys, or did the boys treat you any differently, or no?
I was bigger than all of them. They didn't give a crap. Normally it was like, hey, Garrett, don't hurt them. But,
right.
I was like, okay.
Right. That's how it actually is with all my boys. All the girls who come over to the house and all the girls they play with, like the 8-year-old girls that Avi plays with, look like they're a whole fucking head taller than him, every single one, and their head's bigger and they're huge compared to him.
Girls just grow. They grow faster. Boys grow longer. Like boys still grow into their 20s. Girls finish by like 15.
And their dad's only 5'5". And so you go to a public school, kindergarten, first grade, second grade, third grade, all the way up to through your senior year.
Mm-hmm. I went same school all the way, same friends. Yeah.
And what was elementary school like? You go to school. Who takes you to school? Your grandparents take you to school?
Actually, I lived really close to it, so I could just walk to school. But yeah, my mom would walk me every morning, or there were a couple of older kids that lived near me that would kind of walk with me to school, and then they would go to their school. But yeah, I got up every morning. My mom, because I told you my family owns the deli, so there's apartments.
Oh, that's the deli with all the pictures. With all the Latin gals that's all over your Instagram also. Okay. Okay. I was wondering, I'm like, what is going on there? Those are your homies.
I sent that request through too.
I'm looking, I'm trying to see it. Let me close it out.
It'll come up as CrossFit Livermore. That's what I'm signed into on my computer.
Okay. Yeah, so here, thank you. My wife is going to do it because she's awesome. And
Thank you, Colleen. Thank you, Colleen.
Thank you, Colleen.
Yeah, so there's apartments above the deli. So what happened was my grandparents kind of moved us upstairs. So like my mom and I lived above the deli, so I could just kind of walk to school. But yeah, every morning I'd get up, get myself up, run downstairs, get breakfast because we're a big breakfast deli, and then thanks, babe. And then
off to school.
And off to school, bag lunch, the whole brown paper bag situation. It's great.
And then how would you come home from school? Would you bring yourself home?
No, someone was always there to get me, whether it was my grandpa or my mom or someone it just worked. It was so nice because all of my family worked in the deli. So like anyone at any period of time could come get me. It was just who it was going to be.
And did you work at the deli as a little kid? Would you work the register or make sandwiches, or did you
Oh
do
yeah,
stuff like
put
that?
newspapers together. Like that was my thing. Was I would get up real early with my grandfather, go in, put newspapers together, like the New York Times and whatever, and then we would do that real quick, and then run, go fishing, and then come back and open the deli. It was super cool.
And I'm guessing that's where you learned a lot of your social skills.
Oh yeah.
You weren't adverse to people. I mean, it's pretty obvious from your Instagram that you're kind of, I don't want to say the party wherever you go, but it's very clear you're very affectionate and you have no problem, interacting with other humans.
Yeah. Oh, great. Yeah. No problem.
We're in the archives now.
Deep.
Yeah.
There's a lot of pictures with you and these ladies.
Yeah.
It's pretty obvious that that's your family.
They've worked in that deli for one of them has worked there since I was like 10, and the other ones that you see behind me, they've been there for at least 20 years, if not more.
And so you do that. Do you stay in the same school like area all through elementary school, junior high, high school? It's all the same people. Everyone just keeps switching to the same schools.
Yeah, and all the schools are in like 2-mile radius of each other.
And so basically everything seems normal to you when your parents are separated in early age and you don't know the difference. Your life doesn't seem. It just seems normal.
Yeah.
Grandparents around.
Yeah, very small school. I would say like there was like 3 mixed kids in our school, and all the teachers thought that we were related. And I was like, nah, not every mixed kid has the same. Like, there's not one interracial couple out here. But other than that, like, no.
And does everyone know that you're a girl?
Yeah, everybody that has grown up with me or knew me like knew that I was a girl. Yeah. No
and when did it start happening? You sent me a text the other day that you were in the girls' bathroom and can you tell that story about what happened the other day? That one you told me.
Have mercy. So I was in a like at the Applebee's bathroom because we go once a week just as a family for fun, and so I was like, I have my period. I got to go to the girls' bathroom. It's just I can't. So I was like, I went into the girls' bathroom, washing my hands, all done, about to come out. This I can't even say older because I'm 40. But this like 50-year-old lady, whatever, comes walking in. And I mean, when I tell you that her soul left her body when she saw me in the bathroom, it left her body. Like, she was pale as crap. And I was like, and she was,
so you know right away. You recognize it.
Yeah, I already know. And so I was prepared. I had my hand in my pocket. I was ready to go. I was like, I know what you're gonna say, lady. Say it. And she was like, do you know which bathroom you're in? This is the ladies' bathroom. And I was like, so you're either assuming I can't read or I'm just stupid. Like, what? So I pulled a tampon out of my pocket, put it in her hand, and left. And like, but then I realized that was my only tampon, so I went back and got it. I was like, fuck, I can't go through the rest of the day like this. Like,
what did she say? God, it would have been great if you could have given her a used one.
I was already done.
Did she say anything to you? Did she say sorry to you?
No.
Was she sitting next to you close in the restaurant?
No. We always sit like in that family section, and she was like in the bar area.
And when you go back, is that the kind of thing you share with your family, or it happens so often? It's like do you share that with Colleen?
Often. It's been happening since I was my full height, basically at like 12, and my full size. Like, I was at least, I might have had an inch to go. But after that, I remember the first time it ever happened. I remember I was on a ferry going to Connecticut, the Long Island Sound ferry, and I went into the girls' bathroom with my grandmother. And some lady lost her crap on me because I had a hat on and I'm 6 feet tall. And my grandmother lost her shit on this woman. She was like, how dare you? Like, if you ever want to see an old lady go nuts, my grandma went nuts. It was like, protecting your cub or whatever. But yeah.
So that was at 12. How old were you when that ferry incident happened? The first one?
I was about 12. I was on a traveling basketball team.
And that was the very first time you heard it. Oh, someone mistook my sex.
Yeah,
as
that was Mm-hmm.
It's interesting because I have a sister, and people always, when we were together, it wasn't uncommon that people thought maybe we were twins. I was often mistaken as a girl until I was probably 9.
Oh,
And then
wow.
it stopped. But yours was the inverse of that.
Yeah.
At 9, you passed as a girl, and then at 12,
It was over.
Did you have your hair like this at 12?
No, my hair was actually really long and curly. Like I had like it was just very, very long and curly.
But it may have been the basketball clothing also.
Oh yeah, and I loved hats. Like that was back in the day with like the big starter jackets where you had the North Carolina starter jacket and the hat.
Yeah, I forgot about that. The starter jacket.
The new era cap. The new era
Yeah,
cap.
man. Yeah, right.
Weren't there starters, like actual shops that said starter, and they would be like in
Mhm.
malls and stuff? Yeah.
Yep.
I wonder if
That
they
was a
still
big
have
thing.
those.
I had my Michael Jordan North Carolina starter jacket on, the matching hat. And I know, I'm aware why it happens. I just was like, as a kid, you're like, crap, no, I'm a girl. Like, stop calling me sir. Stop calling me like, I'm a girl. I have ovaries. They work.
Yeah, what's crazy is when I look at your face, you're a pretty girl. Like you have girl features. I guess it's maybe your eyes and your nose and your teeth and your ears. I mean, I could see being confused by clothes, but just your face, you have a girl's face.
People that know me see it, but people who have never met me or see me once a day or whatever, it's just easier to be like, hey, sir.
And you work out in girls' clothes. I see you work in your Instagram. You don't. I see you in sports bras, or I see.
I'll take my shirt off and just have a sports bra on. But the one where you see me in girls' clothes is because I lost a workout to my wife, and the penalty was I had to go in her clothes to the gym.
That's awesome.
And when you go to the beach, there's pictures of you in bikinis and stuff. You wear girls' clothes.
Yeah, I did that as kind of defiance.
Oh, okay.
I was like,
the lesbian definance. I'm gonna wear girls' clothes. Y'all can eat a dick.
Yep. All of the dicks.
I'm so learning. I'm so learning. Who are I'm gonna share a picture here real quick. Who are who are these guys right here? Who are these two gentlemen?
Oh, they're both my uncles.
Okay. Are one of those Uncle Ted?
Yeah, the one with the sweater on is Uncle Ted. He's the oldest brother, and then Tom in the Mets jersey, he's the one that he and I do the deli together.
Okay. So going back, you're 6, 7, 8 years old. At any time during that first, second, third grade, is there anything now happening to you? Any perspective change? Any like these people don't like me, or these people like me, or I'm the oddball out, or nothing?
No, I still had all my dude friends. That was like the wrestling buddy years. We all had wrestling buddies, and we would do the Hulk Hogan, all that kind of stuff. There was nothing weird. No one's.
Do you remember the first time you were introduced to the idea of lesbian versus straight?
God, I was in middle school, probably like 7th, 8th grade, maybe 8th grade, but I wasn't introduced to it. Like it just kind of organically happened.
Like you saw it on a TV show or something, and you're like, oh, maybe that's me. No.
I will say this, like I realized that I really liked Xena and her little blonde friend a little too much, more than they were just like my heroes. I kind of liked them a little more than I should have liked them.
Who's Dina?
Xena.
Warrior Princess.
Oh, okay. Okay. So you meaning like you wanted them to sleep over. Like I remember I wanted my kindergarten teacher to come home and bathe me. Yeah. I didn't know why, but it was like a goal of mine.
Well, I definitely wanted to be Xena, and I wanted to date the little blonde girl that was on the show.
Okay. but that could still be nothing, right?
Yeah, no, it wasn't. I just realized that I was just realizing that I liked them way more than like it was just a good show. Like I literally remember VHS. I would record the episodes. I had like all of the seasons on those VHS tapes because I would sit there and record it.
And you could see yourself joining the crew. You're like, hey, you should. What about a third
I
person
totally want to go run through the jungle and shit. Yep.
with them? Okay.
Yep.
And what about high school? Is there a prom or a senior ball or anything like that?
Oh God, yeah. There's probably. I don't think I. Oh, thank God that was not during social media. But I went to those.
and you hated those.
No, I had a good time. I had a boyfriend, if you want to call it. Like I don't know, we kissed like a bunch of times. Maybe that was it. And we went to prom together. He was a great guy. He was like ended up being one of my best friends. I loved him. I still love him to death. Like, but I mean, it was as awkward as it could possibly be.
Right. It was like that for me too. I didn't want to go. God, I hated that shit.
I just didn't want to be in a dress, and you had to be in a dress. And I was like, what the hell, man? What am I going to do? You can't dance in it. Like, I can't. And oh my God, wearing heels. Are you kidding me? That was like the worst form of torture ever in the history of man.
When's the last time you've worn a dress or a skirt?
Probably that picture that you put on the thumbnail.
No shit. Okay. No shit. What about this, the kind of what's become the official outfit of the United States? What about leggings? Are you leggings guy?
Nah.
You don't have like a whole closet full of Lululemons?
No, my wife does. I don't.
Yeah. So you're still a basketball shorts person?
Yeah. Board shorts.
Yeah.
Anything Mayhem Empire.
Awesome. You're a Froning fan. You're a Mayhem Empire fan.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Who's not? That's a good sign. If you're wondering if you're a healthy individual, if you have any issues with the Mayhem Empire, it means you're not healthy. You need to check yourself. So, when you're young, when you're 8 years old, you have an incident that not an ideal incident happened in your life that continues for 4 years.
My mom married my stepfather, and my stepfather molested me for 4 years. I mean, like, and it was like, every week kind of thing. It wasn't like 3 times over 4 years. It was like every week. So, yeah.
How does that happen? How does I keep hearing about the grooming thing, but how does that happen? Is that real? Can you get into like how that happens? How does an adult?
It was very, I was very awkward at that age. I was way bigger than everybody else. And I was a little heavier at that time too, like the chunky girl. And he just would, he would take me to do things that like other people's parents wouldn't take them to go do. Like I'd get to stay up till 10 o'clock at the movies. I'd get to, and he had his own son too. Like he had a son from his previous marriage, and he was a young kid. Like he was like 3 at the time. And he would leave his son at home and take me to go do things that like were special. It just was like, hey,
and you would be alone with him.
Yeah. Yeah. My mother, it wasn't like, oh, the family is going to go out, or I'm going to take my kids out to go do something or whatever. It was like just me.
And your mom didn't have any, do you think he married your mom because of you?
I think he married my mom for a green card, honestly, but
where was he from?
Brazil.
And the first time it happens, is it just overwhelmingly traumatic? Like at that point, does your whole life change?
Yeah. I mean, my stepbrother wasn't back yet. Like he had to keep going back and forth to Brazil. So it was just one of those time periods where I was in a room by myself. My little brother wasn't there. And that's when it kind of started. My mother would go bowling. And so like he would just come hang out with me in my room and like watch TV and then whatever, and then get a little closer. And then I mean, what the stories are true from what I can tell is that they tell you that like, this is normal. This is natural. This is, when a man loves a woman, when like, this is how it's supposed to be.
And why don't kids tell their parents? Why are there millions of kids that this is happening to, and then none of them go tell someone?
They'll tell you, like my stepfather told me that it would destroy the family and that my mother wouldn't like me anymore, and that, you know, this whole secret love thing is just between us and it's special, and it, you know, yeah, all the stuff that little kids are afraid of. Like, you don't want to lose your mom. You don't want to, and my mother and I were very close until that point. You know what I mean? Like, very close. And, you know, the fear of your mom going away, or they're going to take me away from my mom, or people won't understand, or they'll be mad at me. Like, at 8, you don't want that.
Right. I mean, it's super effective because you're not alone, because there's a playbook for it.
Yep.
It's weird because I don't think the world realizes it. I never had anything like that happen to me, but it seems like that there's just a steady playbook for it in all these stories. Well, there's a commonality to them. Unfortunately, the parents get a divorce and the mom brings in a new man. Seems to be a pretty common theme.
Yeah, they feel like it's okay because you're not related. And it's like, and I mean, a million people, and one wanted to say that I looked older. I don't give a fuck. I was 8. Like, I could look 21. I'm 8. Like, I don't care.
Dude, that's just fucking insanity. It wouldn't even matter if you were 25 at that. The stepfather should not be doing the stepfather. Men have the ability to turn that off. And if you're married to a woman and she has, you don't flirt with someone's mom or their daughter or their cousins, or let alone and he knew you were 8. And any healthy grown man is not attracted to a woman who's 8. I would go out on a limb that say no 60-year-old healthy man is attracted to a 30-year-old woman, to be honest. I'm 50, and 20-year-old women look there's no sense of me that wants to be intimate with them, no matter how hot I think they are. I don't it's not in me.
I always say that. I was like, let some teacher try to like get with my 12-year-old kid when my kid turns 12 or 13. I'm going to lose someone's going to have a bad day, and it's not going to be me. Like,
someone gonna die.
The problem is your 12-year-old going to tell you? How are you going to know? What could your mom have seen in you? So I'm guessing this is how I picture it. After that first incident, you shut down.
Yeah.
Like it pushes your whole being to contract. You start to go inward.
I more remember around the time that I turned like 10 or 11, I started to be very like, we were going on a trip to Brazil for Christmas time. And I like begged my grandmother not to let me go. Like, I was like, I don't want to go. Please don't let me go. I don't want to go. And just, I think everybody just thought I was scared to fly or something. But I ended up having to go, and it was like that. After that trip, I was the most withdrawn and unstable. I think the only thing that kind of kept me together was I came home to sports. Like, I was still kind of playing sports, so that gave me a semblance of like a routine, or like sweat it out or get it out, or just be so tired that I didn't care. But I mean, after that trip, that's when it started to show up.
It was like a trip of terror, I imagine.
Yeah, it was horrible.
How long was it? How long was the trip?
God, we went. I was out of school because I had to take homework with me. I think it was like almost a month.
Did your mom go?
Yeah.
And somehow he would still find a way to get you alone.
Yeah, he'd get me in the shower, or like my mother would be out walking somewhere or something. He'd just like come in the room. Like it just, they find a way. Like
he never got caught. He never got caught. None of those incidents. There were never close calls. He was never like, your mom never said, "Hey, why are you in the bathroom with my daughter?"
Nope. That's how like, and that's what. And the thing, I think the rift that put me with my mom was, as I got older, I realized like he hit her like weeks before the wedding, and she married him anyway.
Okay.
And if she had enough, I don't know, self-respect or self-worth or whatever that is that makes you feel good about you, she would have left him then, and then nothing would have happened to me. And I think that's in my teenage years where I was like, we just can't talk.
Who, you and your mom?
Yeah.
So that ends up becoming a phase where you're like you blame your mom.
Yeah, that was my pissed off. I was out of it because I told when I was 12. So I was with my grandparents. I was safe. He went to jail for a little while, and that was my like. That was when I.
What did he go to jail for?
For molesting me.
Oh, so he got caught.
I told. There was, you remember those health classes where they do date rape and go over all that kind of stuff. It could be someone in your family. It could be like consent, not consent. It was one of those classes. And I actually knew the lady who gave the class really, really well. She's one of the cops in town. And afterwards, I asked her, I was like, there's a couple of questions I asked her. It was like, what if it's your mom's husband, or what if is that still, and whatever those questions I asked her was enough for her to be like, we need to go talk in another room. And she called a counselor and they started talking to me, and it kind of came out. And as a 12-year-old, I'm like, well, can you not arrest him until after? Because I think there was like Memorial Day. Because I'm a kid. Like, don't mess up my family before Memorial Day, like whatever. But
let me get my Christmas presents first.
Yeah, like, but yeah.
Dude, that must have been where as you were. Do you think there was any part of you that knew that it was wrong and just wanted to tell someone, and that's why you asked those questions?
Yeah,
or were those questions?
I had been trying for a little while to get it out, and it just wasn't coming out, and they just created a safe spot for me to do it.
Had you ever told any friends? Had you ever told anyone up until that point?
Yeah, I had one friend that but she was the same age as me. We were talking, and she actually was going through the same thing herself.
Oh, fuck.
So like the two of us were just kind of like keeping each other afloat.
And who was it with her? Who was it with her in her life?
Her actual dad.
Oh my God. Oh my God. And was he having sex with you?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh my God. What happens? What happens? Is he arrested right away when you tell those cops that?
Yeah, they took me to my grandparents' house, and then they went and got him. Over the days they did some like questioning of like, hey, is this kid like, is she known to lie? Has she been in trouble before? Like, they kind of did a deep dive on me to see if I was the type of kid that would just like throw some crap out there like that. But yeah, he was taken fairly quickly, and
like that day.
Yeah, pretty much. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was right after school.
What year was this?
Oh, I was in 8th grade. So I'm gonna go 94, 93, 94.
So that's interesting. When they were asking you those questions to check the validity of your story, did you feel that they were trying to undermine you in any way, or did you feel
they weren't asking me? They were asking people who knew me.
Okay.
So, like my babysitter, my like people in the surrounding area that have known me, my friends' mothers, stuff like that.
What happens? I don't want to lose this question that Bailey asked, by the way. Bailey asked a question: what signs could your mom have seen? She said, Bailey Walker says, what signs could your mom have seen? I want to come back to that in 1 second. So when that happens, that day you go home.
I went to my grandparents' house.
You went to your grandparents' house, and you have to tell. Now the cat's out of the bag, and you have to tell everyone.
Yeah, and I had to go to the police station too. We went to the police station first. My grandparents came and got me from the police station. My grandmother was a hot mess because they had basically told her what I was there for.
Yeah.
And my grandfather just looked like he wanted to fucking put him underneath the police station. Like you know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
he just grabbed me and he was like, after that, he didn't really let me out of his sight very often.
Right.
And then I went to my grandparents' house, and then he got whatever he got. I really wasn't even a part of the process for his jail time. I think he just pled out and got 3 months for 4 years of my life. And if you want the sickest thing, he made me a bar of soap in jail that's had my name spelled out in it. Like he carved out a bar of soap in jail with my name in it and like gave it to my mom to give to me.
Hey, do you know anything about him? Do you know anything about him? What makes a man do that? Do you know do you know anything about his story that would cause him to be like that?
As far as I knew, he was pretty much a soccer star, like for college and high school or whatever they have in Brazil. And no, I mean, he was a good looking dude. My mom was, I mean, they were a good looking couple. They were, from all I could tell, they were happy for the most part. Like it just got weird. Like as soon as they got married, it got weird real fast.
Why did he only get 3 months?
I'm assuming I mean, honestly, like people who commit this kind of crimes don't usually get a lot of time if they just plead to it.
And so does he get deported?
He got deported 10 years later.
So did you ever see him after he got out of jail?
Oh God, yeah. If I wanted to see my mom or my brother.
Your mom stayed married to him?
Yeah. Mm.
I don't understand.
Yeah. It's a tough one. Yep. No, she stayed married to him until he actually got deported.
And so was that 10 years where you just didn't you didn't talk?
I had to see him. If I wanted to see my mom or my brother, like I had to see him.
And did it stop when he got out of jail?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, my grandparents had me. I asked to go live with my grandparents and my mom was like, "Sure." And so I went and lived with...
He raped a child.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And was that what he was convicted for?
No, I think it was just like forcible touching or whatever they call it now, or some crap like that.
But it is accurate to say he raped a child.
Yes.
God, he really is lucky your grandfather did not kill him.
Yes. Yep.
Was he ever allowed at the deli or anywhere near there?
No, he had a restraining order from anywhere around the deli, schools. Like he couldn't go anywhere near any of that stuff. My grandparents' house.
Matt, this was in Utica, New York.
No,
New York.
Long Island. Long Island.
Oh, Long Island at that point. Okay.
Yeah.
What did he finally get deported for?
That charge. Because he was deported for that. He had just pushed it off so long with lawyers and my mom was on his side and whatever. So he was able to like delay it. And then the final judge, because my mom and him actually asked me to go talk to the judge for him so that he could stay in the country. And the judge was like, absolutely fucking not. This girl does not have to go through and relive all that crap all over again. Like, your shit's denied. Bye. And they came and got him at like 4 a.m. Like it was like one of those things that you actually
police did.
Television. Yeah, like ICE came and got him at like 3 o'clock in the fucking morning. He was in his boxers, like, yeah.
By the way, anyone who's ever against ICE, you have to look at. I've known a lot of ICE guys in my life. If you ever get a chance to talk to one of those guys, talk to those guys, and then also start looking up the statistics of who they arrest. They're not out just fucking grabbing tax-paying immigrants. Yeah. They have a fucking they go to people's, they go and they get bad guys. The ICE guys are fucking a gift to fucking humanity. And if you find out how many fucking arrests they make and the people they're arresting, it will blow you away. They're catching tens of thousands of people who are really bad people. It's fucking nuts. So
can I answer that other lady's question?
Please, yes, please.
For me, I mean, it's a general.
Let me ask the question again, just so everyone, if anyone just tuned in. Basically, someone was asking, what are the signs if your kid's being traumatized or molested? What are the signs that the parent should be looking for in the child?
For me, very much so. I didn't want to touch adults, and I didn't want adults to touch me, and it didn't matter who it was. Like, I didn't want my mom to touch me. I didn't want I couldn't hug my grandfather for I don't know how freaking long. Yeah, I that was the overarching probably thing for me that I felt at the time was like just no adult could touch me.
And did that happen just overnight? Like right away, you were like, "Fuck!"
I mean, yeah, I feel like it did. Like, I feel like I was just like, after like the first like 3 months, like I just didn't want anybody to touch me.
And it's
Any
not like
adult.
that anymore. You're not like that anymore.
Mm-mm.
You're
No.
a very touchy-feely person now.
Yeah, very huggy, and we always were. We were a huggy family. Like, my family's huggy. So like, it was just it was a minute that I remember that, not being able to hug my grandfather for the longest.
The police come to the school. It happens. He gets arrested. He goes away for 3 months. And what options are there for you? Like, what's offered to you to start helping you process this?
My grandmother got me into counseling right away. Like, I had a counselor outside of school, and I had a counselor in school that I could go to if I needed to during the day.
Do the kids at school find out?
No, just my friend that knew that she was and she was kind of going through the same thing, and I was like, you have to tell somebody. Like, you have to tell somebody. But we were
because that's the only way it's going to stop, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's the only way it's going to stop. They won't stop.
Did you feel any sense of relief when he was arrested?
Oh yeah, God, yeah, yeah.
You did.
Yeah.
Did you bawl? Did you cry? Like not a cry like sadness, but like a release? Do you remember?
I did when I went to bed that night, because I knew I was okay. Like, I knew I was safe. I cried that night. Yeah.
So literally at nights you would go to sleep and it would suck because you don't know if this guy's coming in your room.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
God, it sounds exactly like just 4 years of terror. It sounds like living in a fucking prison.
Yeah. It was worse.
The anxiety level is just undescribable.
So he goes away, and when he gets out, do you feel the anxiety come back, even though he's just out, but he doesn't live with you?
A little bit, but at the same time, though, I was fully moved into my grandparents' house. They drove me to and from school. I never had to get on the bus. And yeah, I mean, it took a little bit, but after like 6 months of him being out, I knew he wasn't going to get to me, or he couldn't get to me. And like, literally, our town is it's on the smaller side. All the cops knew me. They would drive past the deli all the time on purpose, just like to see. And like, so it was kind of, I had that. Not a lot of kids are going to have that. I had that extra kind of security blanket, because it's a small town. Everybody knows the deli. Everybody knows my grandparents. Like, so I was never really by myself again after that.
And what happened to your friend? Did she end up telling on her dad?
Yeah, she told her mom, and her mom left her dad, like a normal human being would do.
Right. How's your relationship with your mom today?
We don't talk.
Wow.
She was never able to, I don't know. She's just a weirdo. I love her. She's my mom. She gave me life, but like, I'm not good for her. I trigger her, and she brings out the most amount of anger in me. So it's probably best.
Basically, she doesn't want to face the fact that she was an accomplice in the torture of her child.
Right. Mm-hmm. And she doesn't acknowledge my kid as mine. So there's that too.
Your son.
Yeah, she doesn't acknowledge that he's actually mine.
Wow. How does that manifest? Like, when she...
Well, because my wife gave birth.
Yeah.
So by blood standards, in her eyes, that means he's not mine.
Wow. Fuck. How you've been with your wife for 10 years?
Yep.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
That's a fucking long time to be with someone.
That's what we said.
Okay. You're 12 years old, and what do they tell you in counseling? How is did you have a good counselor, or what's counseling like for that?
Yeah, I mean, I think they did the right thing where it was like, hey, do you want a man or a woman counselor, first of all? Because like, you have to feel safe with whoever you're with. So of course, as a girl, I wanted a girl. Mm-hmm. But yeah, they did everything kind of really the right way. It was just kind of let me get it out at my own pace. They, would just give me like, I got a lot of breathing techniques actually that they gave me whenever I felt anxious, or if I got overwhelmed or overstimulated. And yeah, they just kind of, they would ask probative questions, but I mean, really, they just kind of let me talk it out on my own with like guided questions. So
did you like that? Did you find it useful?
Yeah, because I was in control. No one's telling me or making me say anything or making me, I was in control of what I wanted to share, where I hadn't been in control of anything I wanted to share for 4 years. Now, at least I was in control of what I wanted to share or not share. And just over time, it just.
That was 26 years ago that terror stopped. Are you still in counseling?
I don't need it as much anymore. But God, my wife and I we talk so much like about everything. If something's wrong, if someone's anxious, if someone's, like that, we get it out one way or the other. But we're both really into like, research. Like we'll look stuff up, and if we need, oh, there she is. And if, like, we need something, the other one is like right there to help us get it. Like if I ever needed counseling, I would go get it. I believe in it. I think it works and it helps.
When she met you, is any part of it like, is she any of it hesitant to be your mate? You're like, oh fuck, this is damaged goods. I don't know if I want to like.
No, we were both. I mean, we both had a lot of traumas in our past. I think that's one of the text threads that you and I had, was just like, men want women to trust so easily, and it just, you have to reprogram yourself. I always used to poke back at you about misogyny so much, because it just is ingrained in me that just men are awful. You can't you can't really be intimate with them, because all they want to do is sleep with you. That's it. That's all they want from you. They're not going to share your feelings or share your, what's important to you or your vulnerabilities. They want that. That's it. And they're going to use whatever they can use to get it.
Right. They're going to pretend to listen.
Right.
A common technique of a 16-year-old boy. And I don't mean that in a derogatory way, but like, I don't. But it's just the way this fucking particular creature that you guys have on the planet with you. Okay, so as you what are the mechanisms that you start coping with it? Is it at that point you double down on dressing up like a boy?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. I was I played varsity basketball in 8th grade. So it helped. Wow. That helped a lot. So like I just had all the basketball jumpsuits, and my grandparents were more than happy to like spend their last little bit to go get me some new Jordans. And I ran around in baseball hats and big ass. I mean, you could see me walking around in the summer in like a Michigan Wolverine sweatshirt, just hoodie and shit like it. Yeah. Oh yeah. Cover up as much as possible.
And was that a conscious decision? Like, did you want people to think you were a boy at that point?
No, I didn't
as
want
a protective mechanism. No.
Yeah, it was just don't look at me. Don't take interest in me and my body. That's what men want. That's what if they're gonna focus their attention on you, it's because of your body. So just cover that crap up.
Right. I think that's a fair. I don't think that's a wrong assessment. Those are dudes. It sounds like you're pointing at dudes. Okay. And at any point, at this point, now that you're after this 8th, 9th grade, at this point, are you aware that you're a lesbian?
No. That's also something that I wanted to talk to you about too, was that back then there was no like labels. Like we all just kind of were like, you're figuring it out. You're just, or coming to like all of the mentors that I had, like, don't label yourself. Don't label yourself. You just are right now. You're figuring some stuff out. Labels can come way later down the road.
I like this.
And we did. It was so organic, the way that at least my generation came to be. Like I had boyfriends, but I was figuring it out. Like I would kiss them or go for a walk or hold hands or be touchy-feely in the movie theater or something like that. And then, you know what? I didn't like it. I didn't know if I didn't like it because he was a boy, or I just didn't like him as a person and didn't want to be touchy-feely with him. Like it just wasn't, you know what I mean? It wasn't a thing. You weren't like, well, if you do this, you're absolutely gay. Like I kissed a boy. Am I absolutely straight? obviously not. Like,
Right.
it's just so weird to me. Like,
Yeah,
I
that's
don't understand it.
That's the way that shit should unfold.
Yeah, like you figure
Do I
out
like
what things
pears? Not
work.
as much as I like
Yeah,
apples.
try a little bit of
Yeah.
everything, see what
Yeah.
works. Yeah.
I mean, that's like the first time I saw a penis, I was like, not for me. But
Right.
I looked at it. Like,
That's how
okay,
boys are
cool.
too, though. That's how boys are too. No one, everyone's like, what?
It's all good. I've learned more about penis in the last 5 years than I've known in my first 36 years because I have a kid. But that's it. That's
Right.
the only reason I know half
Right.
this stuff.
Right.
And I still have more questions.
Yeah. So don't we all?
So do
God.
we, yeah.
God. I was telling someone the other day, my whole life, I've only touched one penis. And now I have 3 boys. And every day I end up fucking touching 4 penises. It's like, what has happened? What has happened to my life?
Listen, I had no idea when my kid was first born. He was like 3 months old. And I got him up in the morning. And it was summertime. And I was like changing him. And I freaked the fuck out because his balls were smaller. Like my kid was born with humongous balls.
Yeah. We're born with giant balls. Yes.
In the morning, I was like, babe, something's wrong with his balls. Doctor right away. Call the pediatrician. Go. And she's like, Garrett. And I was like, call the pediatrician. Something is wrong with my son's balls. So we rushed to the pediatrician and she's looking at him and she's like, Garrett. I was like, no, they were big last night and they are small this morning.
Yeah.
Fix my son's balls. And they're like, did you change him with the air conditioning on?
That's what I was going to say.
And I was like, yeah, the air conditioning's on in the house. Why? It's summertime. It's hot. What are you talking about? And she was like, just go put him under a blanket. He'll be fine in like an hour. And I have no fucking idea what she's talking about. And they're like, they shrink in the cold? What? How is that a thing? I don't know. I'm learning.
I'll give you this tidbit too, especially now that he's 5. You got to always remind them that when they go pee, they got to because your penis will just curl onto your balls and you got to pull it off. Because if you just run in there and go pee, that shit will just pee all. When you're a little kid, that shit will just pee all over the place. So always, yeah. So
Velcro it.
Yeah. Peel it off. Peel the penis off the balls before they pee, so that it doesn't. He's probably right at that age where
I'll take all.
Yeah.
Well, because I
can say peel your penis off your balls, boy, before you pee.
Listen,
yes.
He knows.
Aim that thing, damn it.
So you're a wife and wife raising a boy. That's also awesome topic too. But yes, she probably is making a child abuse video right now. I know. Okay, so I want to talk about the counseling more. Something like this never goes away. It doesn't go away. It's like part of your life.
Yeah, no, I even when I met my wife, we had very large conversations surrounding sex, because no matter what, sex is always going to be a thing for me because it just.
You were introduced to it in the wrong way.
Right?
In a fucking absolutely horrible way. God, the anxiety piece is just crazy that you had to sleep in the same house with a monster. Mm-hmm. It's like a fucking it's like a horrible children's book.
Yeah,
I wonder if that's what Freddy Krueger was all about. You go to sleep at night and you have these horrible dreams. I wonder if that was a metaphor for something. Did you ever want to become a boy? Did you ever think, oh fuck it, I'm gonna just become a boy?
Yeah, I wondered if it would be easier. I was like, it'll just be easier. I'll never have to worry about this crap again. No guy's ever gonna, want to sleep with me because I am a dude. So, and it just, it crossed my mind in my late teens, early 20s, towards the end of high school and into my 20s. It went back and forth. Well, I already dress like this. I already like to dress like this. I already like my haircut like this. I'm big. But I fortunately had a lot of people and really good support system that was like, nah, man, you're scared of stuff, but it can happen anywhere. It could happen if you're a boy. It could happen if you're a girl. They're
yeah, it happens to a lot of boys.
Yeah, it's not, you know what I mean? It could happen to me right now if someone just wanted to prove that they can make me straight. If some guy was weird enough to just be like, oh, you've just never seen dick before, I can make you straight. Like it happened to me tomorrow. It's not going anywhere. Like it's here. It's just about who I am and what I want to be.
And you had to tell me about that process of, and back, I guess you couldn't go to the internet then either.
Nope.
So you couldn't go to the internet and be like, hey, here's 50 people who are women who are now men. Now anyone can do that. You can just go on the internet and start researching. And I guess you can find any path that will sort of validate your idea. If you're a woman, you want to become a man, you can find that group that will validate that.
Yeah. I mean, back then all we had was the Ellen DeGeneres show, Queer as Folk, and Xena, if you really wanted to look into it, like, and see the undertones. But that's all we had. I mean, and I think for me, like going out and being around like other people, you know, butch like me, I guess the kids are calling it a stud these days, but whatever, still butch for me back in the day. But it's just going out with other butch lesbians and just, dude, going to have a beer and just being us and being like, fuck it. Like, you know what I mean?
Right.
I wasn't trying to, that's not being a dude. You know what I mean? It's just, you're going out having fun with people that you like, that hang out with you and fuck with you and having a beer and being you.
How did you find that? How did you find that group?
Well, it was a lot of girls and this is cliche as shit and that's fine, but it's a lot of the girls that I played sports with. Like we were all your check the boxes lesbian. Like we all played basketball. We were all like 5'10" plus. We like, you know what I mean? So like we just organically found each other and hung out.
You and the softball team.
Yeah.
Any similar stories?
Yeah. No, there's
more than you would expect, or no?
More
it's
than
like
you would like to see. Yeah. Yep. Wouldn't say everybody, but definitely more than you would.
If this wouldn't have happened, to you, do you think you would still be a lesbian?
There's the money question. I was waiting for it.
He knew where he was leading. Yeah.
There's the money ball. I think I would still be. Yeah. I tried to have boyfriends afterwards. I even had a really funny.
But boyfriend. You can't. Are you saying you can't know for sure?
Yeah, I mean, I actually have a couple of really good friends too that are very bisexual. Like that's a real thing, that are actually bisexual. Like they just end up falling in love with who they fall in love with. And one girl who I thought would never, ever be with a dude is happily married for the last 15 years with 3 kids to her husband. And she was with women all through high school. Like
that's the inverse to that question though, too. I always trip on the fact that I think that people who, if you were lesbian, let's say all through high school, and then you marry a man, put the bisexual thing aside for a second. I think, maybe they did that for not the wrong reasons, but they did that because they wanted something as opposed to following the path of who they are.
I also just think that it should so much happen organically. Like, I feel like, just have friends, go out, have fun, be a teenager, do dumb teenage things, try not to die. And then if you happen to find and make it into your 20s, like, it's going to play out the way that it's going to play out. I'm so sick of, I do believe that too is something that you challenge me. And kids are getting indoctrinated, and
well, you obviously had really good mentors, because
I did.
That's why the gender thing really freaks me out so much, is because kids shouldn't even know that word.
Yeah, it shouldn't.
They shouldn't even know the word transgender, gender. These aren't things that you should be contemplating as a kid. You should just be how your mentors were telling you, hey, dude, drop the labels. Just
go do things. Like go meet people. Go like sneak into a bar at 18, like go, you know what I mean? Like try to stay at a party too late when you're 15, like, drink your older brother's beer or something, like do regular kid things.
Did your stepfather ever give you alcohol or drugs?
Yeah.
Regularly?
In the beginning when I was super young, but then kind of once like the special things didn't need to happen anymore in order to kind of like
He was in
groom
full
me.
predator mode, and he
And then
skipped
it
the, he
didn't
skipped the
matter. It wasn't
foreplay of
really.
drugs and
Yeah.
sedation.
Yeah.
Well, that's the playbook too, right? Then they get you to do a little bit of like smoke a little weed, have a little drink. They're like, "Hey, we're gonna tell that you did drugs," and you're like, "Oh shit, okay, now it's another mechanism for silence."
Yeah. Yep.
So you're on the is there a lot of, when you have a basketball team full, this is totally off topic, but when you're on a basketball team with a
Not
bunch of girls
surprisingly.
and there's a bunch and they're lesbians, or they're not labeled but they're bi or whatever you want to call it, but they're willing to be intimate with each other, is there a lot of intimacy between the girls on the team?
I never saw a lot, and I would say that the
Sounds
teams
like
were
it could cause a lot of drama.
I mean, it can, and it was more in college to the drama than it was in high school. In high school, we like I said, we were really kind of just figuring ourselves out. We didn't really know what we were doing at that point. But college, yeah. But it's about 50-50 probably, or maybe a little bit. There's more straight girls on teams than gay girls. Like,
Oh,
it really is.
no, come on, you're ruining my
I
judgment. You're
I
ruining
know,
my whole
no,
fucking story.
but it really is. I mean, when I played in college, there was like, what, 12 of us on a team. There's probably 4 of us that were actually gay, and everybody else had their man on the football team or whatever.
You know, there were these this is off subject too, but there were these when I worked at CrossFit Inc., there were these 2 lesbian gals. One of them was bi, one of them was lesbian. There were a lot of lesbian girls who worked at CrossFit, but there were 2 in particular, this bi girl and this lesbian girl, and they were terror on the other girls, like the married girls. They were hooking up with the married girls left, right, and fucking center. Just plucking the fucking chicks away from dudes. It was crazy. I was like, holy shit.
Yo, lesbians are petty.
But they were good at it. I admired from afar. I was like, holy shit, you guys are savages. You guys make fucking guys who are players look like they ain't got any skills.
Just like dudes want to be like, oh, I could take your girl anytime. Lesbians the same way, man.
Yeah, I'll take. Yeah. Oh, wow. Okay, so it's like trophy. Yeah, I shot a rhino today. Put that on my. Yeah.
You know what to say.
How old were you when you meet your wife? You were 30?
Yeah, I was 30, about to be 31. Yeah.
Okay, we'll get to that in a second. So going back, so if you didn't have that support group around you, shit could have gone horribly wrong. If you wouldn't have had the counseling, if you wouldn't have had the people like this family around you, shit could have gone horribly wrong.
Yeah, shit could have went way left.
You could have gotten to drugs.
Yeah.
Was turning yourself into a boy, having some sort of surgeries, a possibility?
I didn't really know that there was possibility to even have surgeries back then.
That's good.
It wasn't as prominent as it is forward facing now. But yeah, I think the only thing we knew about back then was like hormone blockers, so you could get the beard and sound a little deeper, get scruffier or whatever. If that was the kind of mental image that you had of yourself, which is also really important too. Like you screw kids up when you start like trying to tell them how to see themselves, like envision myself. Like, you know, I always said I could never envision myself being pregnant. Like it just didn't fit right with how I see my body. And like, it just was always weird. But you know, if there was something happened and my wife couldn't have a baby, like I would have a baby. Like if these kids see themselves as butch or see themselves at like, just go be butch then. Like go throw a football, go put on some sweatpants if you don't want to wear leggings to school every day. Like you don't have to change your entire body just to be who you are. Just go be who you are.
It's easier to be butch than what's the other one called? Does your wife get a label?
Back in the day, it probably would have been lipstick lesbian.
Yeah, so it's easier to be butch. It's easier to be a guy, right? You just like get out of the shower and just like.
Yeah, man. No makeup. No, I don't leave any makeup on the pillow at night. I don't have to, hairs in a ponytail.
You don't want? Do you have any makeup on right now?
No.
No makeup. That's you.
No, I don't do this crap.
None? You don't ever do any lip
They tried to
chapstick?
put it on me for prom, and they came at me with some eyeliner, and it came straight from my eyeball, and I was like, nope.
God, eyeliner seems like it would be kind of fun to wear.
You've been saying that lately, Sevan. I think we're gonna.
Go for it. I'm telling you, when that pencil comes towards your face, it's not.
Yeah,
fun.
I don't enjoy watching people put it on. That's for sure. It's very uncomfortable to watch. You're like, dude, what if you slip? And I'm sure girls slip all the time and poke themselves in the eye.
God, I don't even like the thought of that.
Well, and you have pretty good eyes already. You got pretty nice eyes. You got like those Andrew Hiller big heavy eyelids, and then you got the.
I say that all the time too. Like I have one lazy eye.
Cool. Well, I didn't see a lazy one. Just it's like those bedroom eyes. Like when I look at Hiller, I'm like, is he trying to get me?
Yeah, Hiller does.
Why does he have those heavy eyes?
Hiller does have some sexy eyes. He does.
Yeah. Part owl.
I just like his eyebrows when his eyebrows go up and down when he gets pumped about something.
Yeah. It's almost like he's doing it on purpose, but he's not. He's not. Oh, look, there he is. Yes. Yes. So, are you still in your hometown? Are you still in your hometown?
Yep.
Or how close are you to the deli?
I'm on top of it.
Oh, still.
Mm.
Wow. Any part of you ever want to leave? Any part of you like, hey, this is my fucking history here. I'm just gonna fucking pick up all my shit and leave. I'm going to the West Coast.
No, I never want to go to the West Coast. No, but that's because of a lot of the work that I've done. Like this area doesn't define me. It's not, I don't really hold any bad memories for this area. It made me exactly who I am, and exactly who I am is just fine. And we're doing just fine. And, eventually we'll go get a house or whatever, just money wise right now, it makes sense to wait. But otherwise, like this is who I am. This is where I'm at. I'm good.
And how did you meet your wife?
So one of my sisters has a Down syndrome uncle, and my wife was his dance teacher, and also one of his workers. Like she would take care of him, take him out, go do fun things, whatever. So when I met my sister for the first time, I also met my wife for the first time at her house.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. How old was your sister when you met her for the first time?
She's 2 years younger than me. So she was 28.
And this is a sister on your dad's side?
Yeah, they're all on my dad's side.
Okay.
My dad's a hoe.
How did that end up? Did you go out of your way to rekindle with your dad's side of the family?
My aunt, actually, my dad's sister, the matriarch of our family, she found us all and kind of started the family getting kind of closer and back together, and just so yeah, she kind of found us all on Facebook, and then we kind of all rekindled from that.
Were you thankful for that?
Oh yeah, super awesome.
And your dad's alive and kicking and all is good now.
Yeah, yep. He's good. We're football buddies.
You watch football together?
Yeah, we'll text each other over on football Sunday and whatever. We'll have a beer together if we happen to be up there, if I happen to go up there or whatever. But yeah, no, he's a good friend now. It's perfect. It's exactly the way it's supposed to be.
I just noticed you're wearing a Sevan Podcast shirt.
Hey, you just noticed that? Yeah.
Yeah. Holy shit. Wow.
She's got the uniform on.
Good job.
I got the notes.
You got the rules. So your wife had a job where she took care of mentally disabled adults. She was some sort of care.
I think United Cerebral Palsy.
Okay.
UCP.
And when you walk in the room, are there sparks?
I mean, her butt looked really good in those jeans.
like you just knew.
I mean, her butt looked really good in those jeans.
God, your son's gonna love you. You guys are gonna be able to speak the same language.
Yeah.
And does she know? Did she see sparks too when she saw you?
Yeah, I think she was a little nervous.
Did she know anything about you? Was she just surprised you came over?
She was like, "Wait, Dominique has a sister? What?" And then she saw me, and I think she had just gotten out of a relationship with another butch lesbian. That's why I always say I'm the 2.0. I was like, you got a type, and I'm the 2.0. Thanks. But yeah, I was definitely her type, if you want to say that.
And in that first encounter, was there like gratuitous touching, like when you saw her, like hi, and like when you put your hand on someone's shoulder, or like you immediately start sensing like, hey, no.
Like I said, that's one of I think the things left over from everything that I went through as a kid. Like, I'm not just touching anybody, and anybody's not just touching me.
Right.
But there's definitely like, I guess you want to call it like Facebook flirting happened immediately after that. So.
Oh yeah. So if both people look each other up, something's up.
We stalked each other's Facebooks and then started the little instant message thingy.
Do you know when you walk in the room, that girl likes girls? That girl wants to be intimate with girls?
Oh no, I had no idea she was gay. None.
No shit.
Zero idea. Honestly, I don't even think she knew she was gay yet. If you really want to tell the truth, I think she just came out as being gay like 4 years into our marriage. She was finally like, "Oh, I'm a lesbian." I was like, "No shit." What are you talking about?
Yeah. Wow, that's awesome. I fucking love that. Don't worry, dear. I'll give you as much time as you want. Just chill. Yeah, you just chill. I got you.
Baby, no labels.
Oh, that is fucking great. So you meet her, there, and how long before you guys like go out, and what do you do the first time you go out?
Oh, what did it take us? It was really good though, because she lived in Utica and I live on Long Island. So that's like a 6-hour drive difference. So for like 2 months, all we could do was talk via the phone, instant message, whatever. So we actually got to know each other like well before we even went on our first date. And then, in true Utica fashion, our first date was Red Lobster.
Okay, nice.
And
classy.
Classy. Got those cheddar biscuits, and we kept it popping.
and did you know you hit it off, and you just knew?
Oh yeah, like it. I mean, sorry, babe, but it's like we slept together like 3 days later, and in true lesbian fashion, like I proposed to her like a month later, and then we were married like 6 months later.
Wow. Wow. Do her parents like you?
What?
Do her parents like you?
Are her parents like me?
Do her parents like you?
Oh, yeah, her dad loves me. He's a Marine too. He's freaking great. Loves me.
Oh wow. Okay.
He accepted me immediately. And yeah, her mom's super cool. She likes me. She more likes the baby than us, but
yeah, that's good. If you give someone the baby,
yeah,
the grandparents will fall in line after that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's got to be a trip for parents because you see your kids' life going a certain way. Like they probably pictured her getting married to a man.
I think her mom took it a little harder, which was funny. I thought the Republican Marine dad would have more of a problem with it, but and he's older, like he's in his 70s. So I thought
by the time you're 70, you're probably like, fuck, I'm not worrying about none of that shit.
He looked at me, he's like, "Are you going to take care of her?" And I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "Are you going to pay for her?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he was like, "Cool. Hata."
Wow. That is some fucking anti-feminist shit right there. But you just took it like a champ. You're like, yeah, I'll say yes to whatever as long as I can get her.
Let's go.
Cobra Rhodes. Cobra, your profile pic's great. Cobra was just in the movie, Will Smith's movie that just came out. Just followed Garrett on Instagram, private. Look at, he's begging for an accept.
I'll check my phone afterwards.
Cobra's a great dude. I know him from a previous life when I used to document professional arm wrestling.
Yeah, had him on the show briefly too.
Yeah, and he
vouched for him.
He also just starred in a documentary that has a bunch of reenactments. I was actually talking to him on the phone yesterday. Did you know that the Lone Ranger was the Lone Ranger, the real Lone Ranger, was a black guy?
No.
Yeah, well, okay. I'm gonna have Cobra on the show, and he's gonna explain that to us. He was just in a documentary where he played, in the reenactment scenes when they would tell the story of the Lone Ranger, he played the real Lone Ranger, who's a black guy. Yeah, pretty cool. I had no idea. Instead of giving silver bullets, he gave silver coins. It's cool shit, right?
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay, I digress. Okay. So you get two lesbians together, and their views have got to be
so many jokes for that, but go ahead.
their rules have to be the same way my rules were, like born in Berkeley, right? That you have to like Hillary Clinton, and you have to love Barack Obama. Well, you have to like him too because you're black, And so,
Yep.
and you want
Double down.
universal income, you want universal healthcare without even looking into what it actually does to poor people. And you're trudging down that line, right? And would you consider yourself an activist or no? You just knew.
No, I mean, obviously, I got totally sucked into the whole.
Was it around George Floyd when that wave
Yeah, the
of
whole
kind of
woke
consciousness?
thing. Oh yeah, like oh God, some of those podcasts I watched with you and them were so fucking hard to watch.
Boz Reeves, by the way, if anyone wants to look it up, I will eventually have Cobra on the show, probably very shortly. But Boz Reeves was the original Lone Ranger. Okay, tell me about this. Oh yeah,
Oh, cool.
crazy.
Yeah, that's crazy.
They fucking culturally appropriated fucking the Lone Ranger. They were hard to watch because of the stuff I would say about Mr. Floyd.
Yeah, the whole Greg Glassman and that's when I think I really started to get challenged by you because like some of me like really kind of was hearing what you were saying, but the beat the drum, like take the knee, do the things that you're supposed to be as a good half black lesbian woman, checkbox like would do. And so I'd be like and then I wouldn't tell anybody that I was listening to you, and my wife would be like, are you listening to Sevan again? And I'd be like, yeah. But yeah, so I dove fairly quickly into the woke thing and then I started slowly backing myself out of it as I was kind of watching all the different people you had on.
What did you see early on that made you like like for me it was just starting to try to figure out where the racism was going. Like when they kept saying Trump was racist against Mexicans, I remember digging into that and being like, fuck, I can't find it. I just can't. I mean, I see what they're saying he said was racist, but I don't see that as racist. Was there any like particular things where like you saw a thread hanging down and you started pulling on it and you're like, oh shit?
Yeah, honestly, I think it was the movement to cancel Greg Glassman, and then there was the one with
why? Because you were like, what's Floyd 19 even mean? And there's no substance here. Like where's the girl he raped? Or like,
yeah,
you're like, where's the
I'm like, I've never seen, like, normally when you get accused of that kind of stuff, like the women start popping out of it, like Cosby, like every woman, their face was everywhere.
Or Weinstein, they just
out. Whatever. And I'm like, there's none of these. Like, where's the smoking gun? I didn't even understand who wrote the article or what the article was for or any of it. And I was just like, I don't. So then I just kept watching your stuff, and then I just kept like actually looking through things instead of just whatever came up on my freaking Facebook feed, which I now know is a joke too, because it's just whatever they feel like. If I look at puppies, fucking Hillary Clinton pops up. Like, but
do you have a dog?
Do I have two?
You have two dogs. Healers?
I lost the little one, but I still have the big doofy one.
Oh, I'm sorry. Like you actually lost her? Like she ran away or someone stole her?
No, she died. She was old.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And so it just started peeling back. What did Colleen think at the time? Did she have a strong stance on it?
Share my newfound like red pill situation until I was pretty confident. Even now I'm still kind of detoxing. Like I'll catch myself like, oh no, don't automatically go there. Go look at something, go read something, go.
Yeah, it happens to all of us. Yep.
Yeah. So
I see people on the right all the time swinging too far to the right too. It's like, whoa, easy.
Calm down, bring it back down.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I don't know if you saw this, but it just came out in the New York Post yesterday that the Cambridge Dictionary has now changed the word woman to like if you identify as, but you might have not been born a woman. Like that's literally what their definition of a woman is. I was like, excuse me, it's not though. It's not.
You know what the fix is for that is just don't use the word. So then you just switch to saying people with vaginas. You just have to you actually just have to say that now if you want to be articulate.
Yeah.
So I was hanging out with a bunch of my friends who have vaginas, and you just got to just let it just flow off the top of your tongue. Like if you want to denote that they're women. If they're going to take the word from us, it's okay. We have other words.
It's insane. I'm just like, you got to be kidding me. Like, I have nothing against transgender people. If you're an adult, do you, like, that's fine. But I don't have to be an imaginary world too. Like, I'll call you whatever you want. You want your name to be whatever, but I'm also not putting anything in front of the word woman. I'm not describing myself as anything other than a woman. You can't put any words in front of that for me, like, because then my last 30 years of periods meant nothing. Like, you just can't do that. I'm sorry. Like, I can't.
Adult female human being. She's a really nice woman. A woman and 2 men were arrested today. An adult who lives and identifies as a female, though they may have not been said to have.
Yeah, that.
Yeah, what the fuck?
Right?
Wow.
I'm saying.
It's fucking hilarious.
It's absurd.
What about female? Does it say, well, look up the word vagina for me really quick. I want to see what who that belongs to. See if that, like.
Don't bring up images.
Yeah, don't do hit images. No, just hit. We'll get in trouble for that. What did we look up one time? Giant penis. That was a fucking
big dick guy.
Yeah, big dick guy.
Kangaroo something too. That almost went south when you brought up kangaroo balls or something.
So did vagina, the part of a woman? Oh, so they got to change that too, definition now, because the part of a woman or other female mammal's body that connects her outer sex organs to her uterus. It's a great spot. So does call? I'm gonna go back for another second, another question I had, and then we'll catch up to what happened. Does it ever trip you out that does anyone ever know that you're black?
No.
No one ever? Do other black people know you're black?
Yeah, normally.
They know. They can tell.
Yep.
Yeah.
My aunt says it's my nose. It's fine.
Yeah, I don't know what it is, but there's something about. I mean, you could be, if you said you were Cuban, you look, whatever you are, you look like you're some outlier of it, like Canelo. That's why you remind me of Canelo.
I have a lot of people come up, speak Spanish to me, and just assume that I'm Spanish or Puerto Rican or something.
Yeah, you look like you're Latin, but with some like crazy recessive gene or something. Like you look like a blue-eyed Latin or something.
Yeah, no, I'm not. I can't fit. I don't really fit any specific place. Like, I'm not dark enough to be black. I'm not white enough to be white. Like, I got a lot as a kid. What are you?
But what's crazy is you are crazy white. I mean, you have crazy fair skin.
In the wintertime, I am like see-through.
White. Yeah. And then can you get dark? Can you get tan?
Yeah,
really
I'll
tan?
get real tan in the summer.
Yeah, interesting. Fascinating. Oh, and where is your mom was white and your dad was black. Where was your mom from?
My grandparents are Swedish and English. And
your dad, you know what his descent is from Africa? Which
I just know the Jamaican Bahamian.
Okay. Did that cause any friction in your relationship with your wife Colleen as you started like being like, hey, I want to rethink some of these ideas?
She looked at me with a side eye, but she's always like I said, we're very good at communicating together. We'll talk something out to death. And it's not like we both have to agree on it to be okay. But
she's not trying to win. No one's trying to win. You're actually trying to understand shit.
It was a good quote that I heard the other day. Do you want to be right or do you want to be married?
Great advice.
So what about the people around you? How long do you think that it's been since you've kind of been like, okay, I'm not doing the woke shit no more?
I literally was the day that I texted you that I was just like, I saw Xavier and I was like, can't do it. I can't even pretend to do it. That I agree with half this crap because I do not.
Do you remember what he said that kind of was like the nail in the coffin? Look, I'm using basketball terms because I know you. Because I know my audience.
Oh God. I think he was more or less just kind of talking about how his family would never go along with any of this and are just totally like, he's kind of on an island by himself. And I was just kind of like, you know, if he has the courage to do it, like all I can hope is that like politics and, you know, politics, religion, whatever, doesn't like completely tear apart my family. I don't think it will. Most of them are pretty cool and don't even care as much about this stuff as I do, but some of them do, and it might not be pretty as we start having more family reunions. I don't know. Find out.
How is your wife and your son accepted when you go to family reunions on your dad's side?
Oh, they love her.
Yeah.
Absolutely love her, love him. He actually calls, you know, my sister's mom grandma, because we don't have my mom. So she actually, he calls her nanny. So no, they love her.
Did you ever go through a video game phase?
I mean, if you want to go all the way back to like Mario Brothers and Super Nintendo, yeah.
Right. Another sign that you're a girl. Do butch lesbians do you know any girls who got sucked into video games? Do lesbians ever do any of that stuff that adolescent boys do? Or God, I wish
I've never seen it. I mean,
yeah. Another sign
yeah.
that they're separate from men, by the way. They're Oxford dipshits who don't waste their life playing video games, women.
Yeah, no. I've never Honey, you gotta go laugh in the other room.
Tell me, we can't hear. Tell me about this 50-pound weight loss you had. Tell me about how your paths crossed with CrossFit.
Oh, yeah. I got married, and we worked out a lot when we first got married. And
what did you do? Just traditional gym stuff?
Yeah, just you know,
go 24-hour fitness
and that crap.
Danny Broflex.
But then we both got kind of fat and happy because we were married in marital bliss and eating out a lot and doing all of the wrong things. And then actually a buddy of mine started getting back into shape, and he was putting up all these CrossFit workouts that he was doing. And I was like, hell, you're the most unathletic kid I've ever seen in my life. How are you doing this right now? Like, what are you doing? And so I reached out to him, like, what are you doing? He's like, I'm doing CrossFit. And I was like, is that a workout? Like, what? And then he showed me the website, and I found CrossFit.com. And
what year?
2016.
Okay.
Yeah, I was late to the party.
Yeah, a little bit.
But
still good year to come in.
Still good year. Good year.
That's yeah, and then I realized that a kid I used to babysit for, this is terrible, but I used to babysit for him, had his own gym, CrossFit gym, that was literally like half a mile from my house. And so I was like, I texted him, I was like, hey, what do I have to do to be able to do CrossFit? And he was like, walk in the door. And I was like,
perfect answer.
So the dad, you babysitted for a family that owned a CrossFit gym.
No, I used to babysit him when he was little. And
oh shit!
Yep. So
wow.
Yeah, he fixed me a lot.
Hey, do lesbians make good babysitters, huh?
Yeah, we are because we're very protective, man. Don't touch the baby.
Hey, do lesbians diddle people? Are lesbians safe? Like in general, I know it's a sweeping generalization, but if you had to pick like straight men, gay men, straight women, lesbian women, who do you got to leave some with the kid? Is there one you don't pick any of the dudes? I'm telling you right now. Don't pick the straightest dude.
Immediately.
Yeah. I would either go I would go straight women, honestly.
Okay.
I
Straight
think
women.
That's
okay.
the safest choice to leave with any child.
The most they'll do is neglect your kid and be making TikTok videos.
Right, exactly.
Put a mask on and scare them at school.
And we definitely had that. There's been some weird PE teachers. I'm just saying.
Oh, right. Good point. Yep, I know exactly what you're talking about. I want to go back to the CrossFit thing in a second, but I want to go back to your kid. Do you ever leave your kid alone with any adults besides you and your wife?
We did not for a very, very long time. And it was my sister that ended up babysitting for us so that we could get date night or whatever. And then
what about Mima? Is she able-bodied enough to watch?
No, she wasn't.
He would wreak
and
havoc on her.
Yeah, it would be too much.
I know a 5-year-old boy. You put him inside and fucking shit gets weird. Yeah.
No, but and my wife did struggle with it a little bit more than I did about leaving him alone with
Good.
with anybody. Just now, and it's literally just my he's like one of our best friends that we've known for 20 years that will watch him for us if we and they
it's a man. It's a man.
And we know him though, and all they literally do is play video
Send me
games.
his Instagram. I want to fucking vet his ass.
Oh, he doesn't even have Instagram.
Oh, okay.
He's not that dude. He just plays online video games, like you said.
I was a nanny for 2 boys growing up. I was in college, and in hindsight, I would have. I just can't see myself leaving my boys with another boy. I was a great fucking nanny. I did the funnest shit with them. They were traditional. They came from a traditional Chinese background. Both their parents were from Hong Kong. They probably thought it was weird that they ended up hiring a 19-year-old kid, but I would always just take him out in my truck and pound bass, and I would always throw pillow. I was just roughed them up a lot. They always ended up crying because I played with them too rough. But
that's how my uncle was with me when he babysat me. He used to throw pillows at my feet.
Oh, it fucked these kids up. Yeah,
that's
fuck these kids up. And they loved it. They wanted more.
Yep.
I would do crazy shit to them, throw pillows at them so hard they'd come off the ground, start crying, and then be like, again. My kids are the same way. It's when do you guys ever did your son sleep in your bed a lot with you?
No, that was one thing that I made sure immediately that he got his own room in his own crib with a monitor at like.
Does he stay in there?
5 months. Yes, he does.
He doesn't want to come in. Does he come in the morning? Do you nap with him?
Yeah,
do you
in the morning he'll wake up. We were blessed, thank God, with a good sleeper, and he goes to bed at like 7:30, and he gets up at like 6, and just hops up, runs into our room. But that's it. He doesn't sleep in our room at all. Only when he's sick.
Because one of the things we do, I never let the boys, no matter who stays at the house, and I have no history of molestation or rape. I don't know anything like that, even remotely in my family. I have but if anyone stays at our house, like if Matt came over and stayed at my house, my kids would sleep in my room.
Oh yeah, that.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like no matter who, it doesn't matter. Like even my own dad, my mom, anyone. My kids, because I feel like I just have this obligation to mitigate that to the most extreme. I mean, they don't know that's why they get to sleep in my room.
Right.
But
no, we're the same way. If we're somewhere else at somebody else's house, or like when we go up and visit family or whatever, he sleeps in the room with us. He doesn't sleep by himself.
Yeah.
And if there's anybody, I mean, not that we ever have anybody over our house, like, but if anybody stayed with us, they would, he sleeps with us. There's no.
Yeah. I mean, it's crazy if you leave kids alone, especially boys, the shit that will escalate very quickly. So even if I'm at a friend's house and they're playing, periodically my wife and I will take turns going up into wherever they are and check on them. And it's not uncommon for then all of a sudden one of the kids to be like, hey, he tried to touch my penis, or hey, he's telling me he wants me to pull my pants down. And then you're like, all right, everyone come out of the room. You guys don't play in the room anymore. I mean, boys will get into their penises in no time.
Oh, my kid just found his penis.
Hey, is he doing the thing? Is he doing the thing where he pushes it inside out and then watches it like pop out again?
Yep.
That was a great one. When I saw my kids do that, I'm like, oh fuck, I forgot I used to do that. It's been 45 years since I turned my penis inside out.
On the planet, other than my kid, like pull his ball sack out to try to catch water in it when he's taking a shower.
Yeah. All that stuff.
All the things. Yeah.
All the things.
I'm like, I don't know if you're supposed to be doing that, kid. I don't know if it's possible if you could break it or not, but
nah.
Whatever.
So
it's resilient. He'll learn. It'll hurt. He'll be like, oh, too far. Don't stretch that far.
Andrew Hiller claims that because he wore so much compression shorts, that it made the skin in his scrotum less resilient, and therefore now that when he doesn't wear compression shorts, his balls hang lower.
Are you making that up? Or are you?
No, I'm serious. It's like the phenomenon of bras. Bras are supposed to keep your boobs up, but actually, I think that they actually cause boobs to droop more for some reason for the mechanism. I don't know, but
Like Reliant or something.
I felt like just when I hit 40, it just started to go that way. I don't feel like it had
Yeah,
anything to do with
me
my
too.
body. I
Just
just
took
hit
over.
40 and it was like, oops, gravity. Like
gravity.
whatever.
Yes.
Fine.
What happened? Did my skin change?
Also, I've never worn push-up bras, so I don't know what that can do to you, but
Me neither.
I have to ask a straight lady.
So the thing with the family, you have a son, you have a wife. What's your day job?
I work in a deli.
Oh, you do it. Oh, awesome.
Yeah, that's why you're like,
Wow.
you work in a deli and you're not Jewish too. Like,
Oh, that's right. God, I was so
Good
hoping
point.
you were Jewish.
Good point.
Jeez.
Do you have any Jews in the work in the deli?
No.
No. Do you make pastrami sandwiches?
Yes.
Okay. And what's your wife do? Is she still in the same field?
She coaches CrossFit.
Oh, no shit. Okay. Oh, yeah, that's where we were. Okay, so you guys are a fat, happy married couple. You ask the kid you used to babysit for, hey, can I join your gym? He says yes. And do you go in by yourself or you take Colleen with you?
I went by myself to start with, but I should also preface this with saying that I had a very bad spinal injury at one point, and so my right hand didn't really work. Like, I don't know.
Oh, I noticed one of your fingers is doing this.
Yeah, like it. So I couldn't like start a car, tie my shoes, any of that crap for like the longest time. Like I just lost so much muscle in my hand. So when I first went in there, like I told him, and he's like, unless a truck runs you over, like I can fix you. And I was like, okay.
Dude,
Cool.
that's a great CrossFit coach. What gym is
He was
that?
amazing. He was at CrossFit 11968, but now it's CrossFit Warrior Legion.
CrossFit Warrior Legion. And you still go there?
Oh yeah, yep.
Wow,
My
what a
wife
great
coaches there,
coach.
too.
That's what they're supposed to say. Got type 2 diabetes? I'll fix that shit.
Yeah, he's
Hey,
like,
your
as long
fucking
as
arm
you
doesn't work,
haven't
don't
been
worry.
run over by a truck, I'll fix you. And I
Yeah.
was like, sweet.
What a great gym.
one.
CrossFit Warrior Legion. Okay, so and you believe him?
Yeah, because I've known him my whole life. So I was like, all right, cool. Like if that's what, you
Wow,
know,
they're really into the Black Friday shit.
oh,
My goodness.
she's a mess. They don't. I don't think they. Oh, the sales. Yeah,
That's a CrossFit gym?
yeah. They don't hashtag though like a lot. Like there's not.
They have
a
great
lot
coaches,
of, like,
but their Instagram's all
no,
fucked up.
their social media is not fantastic.
Hey, they got some marketing out there. Don't knock
Yeah.
that. You got to get people in the door, man. We got to get people in the
I
door.
think I've hashtagged them a couple of times where there's like pictures of all. This is a great gym though. Big
Yeah.
space.
Looks cool.
Oh,
Yeah,
beautiful.
super fun. Yeah.
Yeah, look at Souza trying to defend his peers.
Wait, is that like a little those is that like the spin thing that you could do where you wrap yourself up in those
Yeah.
cloths next to the ropes and kind of spin around upside down and shit?
Yep. Like
Oh,
the Circus
cool.
Olay type crap. Yeah.
Yeah.
God, that's a nice gym.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
got a
it's
bunch
really
of
nice in there.
GHDs. That's cool. Must be nice not live in California and get hammered out here.
So you start going in. How long do you go before you bring Colleen in?
It might have been maybe a week, and I was like, "You have got to come do this. You're gonna love this. Like, this is so much more fun than what we've been doing, and so much more like engaging." And Mike is, like I said, Mike's great. He was just the best dude ever. And so, yeah, she came, and then we started. But then she got pregnant, like literally 2 months later. And she had a tough pregnancy. So she didn't get to really start until 2017.
And any issues with you being a black woman entering the gym? Were they like, sorry, no blacks here?
No.
Any issues with you being a lesbian when you entered the gym? Sorry, no lesbians here?
No, a lot of questions though.
Oh, really? Tell me. Like, what do you mean?
Oh, everyone was just, so how do you know? So how, like,
No
how
shit.
does it work? How do you, like, what do you mean? How does it work? There's videos
Wow.
for that.
Wow. Yeah.
You got
Wow.
Google.
Hey, do you think that's because you're there's something about you that's
Welcoming and warm a little bit.
yeah.
Approachable.
Why do you think people feel comfortable asking you that?
I think because I'm comfortable with me and I'm comfortable with myself, and I'll go toe to toe with the best of them. Like, I don't care. It's nothing that I haven't talked about or seen before. So
Right.
maybe that's it. I'm not like opposed to any question.
And tell me about your wife getting pregnant. How does that work? Do you choose? Do you know who the dad is? Do you look at
Oh,
your
yeah, this
pictures
is
and you're
for
like
Hiller.
him?
Here you go, Hiller. Here's your answer. So
Why? Because he asked on one of the shows, how'd she get pregnant?
Yeah, he asked
Okay.
you how I got pregnant, and I was like, I did not get pregnant. My wife did. But yeah, we literally went on California Cryobank, and they give you like the guy's height, weight, skin color, all that. So we just picked out one that kind of had the same body type and like eye color, hair color as me, and weight like around the same body type. And then yeah, FedEx came in the mail. This big ass jug like this big, and I was like, "Is that full?" They're like, "No." So it's like two or three vials in there. But I just thought it looks like a big old school milk jug.
Do you still have it?
No, you have to send it back.
Oh.
You can't keep that thing.
So,
Would've been cool though.
so you just put your credit card down and you get 3 vials of semen?
Yep.
And how much is that?
I don't know. There's like freaking. God, what was this? What was the sperm count? It was like a 500 to 600 in each vial.
Million?
Yeah, I think so.
And it's all from the same dude?
Yep.
And does it come out on ice?
Yeah, I think that's what that. It's like a cryo, like milk jug thing that keeps them cold.
And how long before you get it do you have to put it in her?
You only have about 2 days before that it gets like.
I would do that shit like right away. I would just start thinking that shit's gonna get old.
Yeah, we normally do.
Like pants off. And how do you put it in her?
Oh, I didn't. The doctor did.
Oh,
I'm not old school enough lesbian for that. I can't be doing that. I might break the sperm. The sperm might get defrosted wrong. Like, nope.
Sperm sees you and just runs the other way.
Listen, I can't scare my babies. But I did put a seatbelt on the cryo tank to make to get to the doctor's office. Okay.
Well, good. Yeah. Already safety first. So do you go with her to the doctor?
Mm-hmm,
And so she's laying on her back with her legs up in the air?
Yep. In stirrups.
And how does he put it in her?
It's like a
turkey baster.
Yeah, just not as big. It's like, it looks like it should be a needle, but it's just like, to give little kids medicine.
Yes. Or dogs, like you squirt that shit in dogs' noses or some shit.
It's like a bigger version of that.
And how far does he put that? How big is that thing, and how far does he have to put it? Like really far up there, or is it?
It's uncomfortably big.
It is. It is like long.
Big. Yeah. It's because it's called IUI, so it has to go into. It actually goes all the way into the uterus.
And, can you pull up a uterus for me? That's like past like the diaphragm and shit. God, I used to know girl anatomy. Pull up. I want to see like, and does he put all 3 vials in there?
You can do it at one time, but because of like ovulation goes over the course of like 2 or 3 days, typically we would probably do 2 on one day and 1 on the other day.
How did she know she was ovulating?
There's little tests that you can take, and also we were with a specialist too. So he would actually like take her blood sample to see if she.
Oh, right. Okay. Did she know too? Did she know like her cycle and her days?
Yeah, she had everything on a calendar. It was ridiculous.
Hey, so that picture on the right over there, it says like labium minus and then vagina. So the penis never goes past that in there. The penis just hangs out in there. But they had to push it through all that, the cervix.
Yep.
Oh my goodness. Hey, the ovaries really do look like testicles. I think the testicles are just made of a bunch of fucking strings like that too.
Right? You guys, like, your penis and balls are like our vagina just outside.
What a disaster when they made us. Whoever put the balls outside's a fucking idiot. What a mess. Okay, so then that's it. First shot, she's pregnant. No miscarriages, nothing?
No, it took us 2 years to get him. And
how many semen? So you had to order a shitload of semen from the same guy over and over and over?
No.
Oh, I would just call that dude and be like, yo, let's cut out the middleman. Come here.
Let's cut out direct to the source.
Yeah.
Seriously, it's just not cheap. But yeah, we took breaks here and there because it was getting it was tiring her out a little bit. We were at the specialist all the time.
Like emotionally tiring her out? Yeah.
Yeah. And it was literally on our last try that was on our wedding anniversary, that that she peed on a stick and she was pregnant. And that was we were going to go like 2 years without trying. And yeah, she peed on a stick. She was pregnant. And we were like, oh.
And was that like 2 weeks after the doctor put it in her?
Yeah, I think, whatever the time frame is, I think you have to wait 2 weeks till you can pee on a stick. And then she got the blood test. And the minute the blood test came back that she was pregnant, she was sick on the couch for like 3 straight months, couldn't eat.
Awesome. And did you guys do it like the cheapest way? Like, isn't there a way like they can like tell you if it's a boy or a girl, or like they can, you just like, hey, get the semen in her.
No, just give us a baby. I don't need a freaking.
Right. What did you guys think when you found out you had a boy?
Oh,
are you guys happy, or you guys want a girl? Or
when she told me, because she actually found out and then came home and told me that it was a boy, and oh my God, I was so happy. I totally wanted a boy first. I mean, I would have been happy with a girl, but like, yeah, I wanted a little Garrett, so I was happy.
How many boys are there that are raised by 2 women? Do you know? In the United States?
I know. I have a couple of friends with boys, like, but I don't know how many.
If I wonder, this is going to be fucking harsh, but I for sure would rather have 2 moms than 2 dads.
Oof.
1,000 times out of 1,000 times. I think people really need their moms. But you don't have a dad. You don't have a father. Do you think about that he doesn't have a father?
Yeah, I do. But we tried to do it the healthiest way we could, where we picked a donor that at the age of 18, if he wants to try to find his dad, he can. Like,
I just mean in terms of
growing up
impression, like what's going to put the impression on him.
Yeah.
Give him that kind of that energy, that whatever dads do. Who's going to give him that?
I do. I think about it a lot. I mean, thankfully we just, because of the CrossFit gym too, like he's got a lot of strong males that have known him since he was born, that he's always with us at the gym. He's never not been at the gym with us, like, except for maybe those first like 2 months after he was born. But otherwise, he's been in the gym with us with these dudes for a long time. They all know him. They all love him. Like, he gets piggyback rides and they do pull-ups with him and whatever. So like, I think just responsibly, I'm trying to like surround him with the healthiest male role models that I can possibly surround him with.
Yeah. Does he have any questions? Has he spotted that, like, okay, I only have two moms, or I don't have a dad, or did he piece some shit together, like, or even, I guess in the inverse, I guess it would be more like this. What happened to that poor kid? He got stuck with a dude. I mean, does he like, why doesn't he have 2 moms?
Well, no, I mean, for a little while he was, again, trying to figure out why I'm like,
well, he definitely wants to know why you don't have a penis.
Like, yeah, they
all want to know that. We all want to know that. What happened to you?
Yeah, like he's kind of like, well, no, just like he knows mommy's a girl, but then he looks at me and visually to him, I don't look like a girl. So like we've had to have those conversations where, yes, mommy's still a girl. Mommy's a girl and mommy's a girl. I just look different. So that's kind of happening right now. But other than that, I mean, nothing. I mean, he watches Peppa Pig and he knows Daddy Pig and Mommy Pig and whatever. So like, I mean, he's aware that there's a daddy out there somewhere.
Right. God. He's in good hands.
Oh,
I don't doubt that. Yeah, you're a wonderful human being. I think it's so important that people who, for the 2 reasons I said at the beginning of the show, so people get to see someone who looks like you and grew up like you, and they can understand that, like, hey, you're just a person, right? Because I think a lot of people don't know a butch lesbian. And so they have this, they might see you like at Walmart, or they might see you at the movie theater or some shit like that. And they immediately have this like impression of you.
Yeah.
And then on the other hand, on the other hand, I think it's also good for people who do fit like your demographic, right? A butch lesbian that they also see like, hey, I don't have to behave the way they tell me to behave just because I'm a butch lesbian. I can still have my own thoughts. I can be my own person.
Yeah.
And
I mean, I just don't want to check anybody's boxes anymore. Like, you don't think for 2 seconds that the Dems brought home Brittany Griner because she checks all the boxes for their voter fucking. If she was just a white person over there, they'd have never brought her home. They wouldn't have bargained for crap.
right.
Like, she checks all of the boxes that they need. I just don't want to be a box to check. Like,
Mm-hmm.
Well, it gives you a really important message. It's interesting because, you know, we had Xavier DeRusso on, and obviously that you said that had an impact on you. That was kind of the straw that broke the camel's back. And I promise you that you being on this show will also have that same effect.
I hope so.
Yeah. Can people reach out to you who have, you know, I'm sure a lot of people are going to be like, fuck, I need to talk to this girl.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
like,
I'll scroll through everything. I'm kind of surprised, but I'm happy. But yeah, you can absolutely DM me and I'll go through them all.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for coming on. I'm so glad that we've, you know, built this friendship. I can't wait. I can't wait for another 6 months or a year to go by so I can have you on again and we can talk about what's going on with the boy and Colleen and your life.
I'm sure I'll have plenty of boy questions to ask you. So,
and you know what's crazy is I don't even know. Like I see, a lot of it's like I'm like, wow, did I do that with my penis too? Like we're a trippy creature.
I know there's more, so I'm just gonna wait for the sock question to happen or whatever.
One superficial question though that I know the commenters are dying to know is, can you and have you ever been able to dunk?
I could grab the rim. I could grab the rim, but I couldn't get the actual ball into the basket. So,
there you go, David. All right, get off it. I asked.
Was that Griner's claim to fame? I mean, obviously she's an amazing fucking athlete, but she was the first woman to dunk.
She wasn't the first. Lisa Leslie was the first, but she was at the height where it was the most popular at the time. She just fell into that time frame that it was like perfect. She came out, she started dunking in college, and then like she rode that into the WNBA.
Is she one of the best players in the WNBA? I don't watch WNBA. No. Oh, okay.
Not even a bit.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Sorry. Thank you, Garrett. Great podcast. Inspiring person. Man. Yeah. Amazing journey. You are always welcome to come on also, by the way. If there's any time sooner you ever want to come on and be like, hey, I'm ready, I want to talk about this, or I want to share this message. I won't keep you on for 2 hours unless you want to, but you're always welcome to come on.
Super easy to talk to. I was just glad Souza was here. I felt like if it was just you, that would have been like, I was like, oh, it's
too intimate. Too intimate.
Super serious.
Thanks, I got you.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'll see you in the text messages. Tell Colleen, thanks for letting us borrow her wife for the morning.
I will. Thanks, guys.
Thanks so much.
Ciao.
Have a good one.
Incredible story.
Yeah, that was way easier than I thought. I knew I was going to love her.
She was great. She was awesome.
Seriously, I feel less alone with my story. Good. Yeah, I mean, it's so fucking important for people who've gone through what she's gone through to fucking speak up just for other people.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be okay. You're going to make it.
Yeah, it was funny. I was, as she was going through and was talking about, you know, the stuff that was going on with her stepdad and things, I was sitting there just thinking to myself, like, damn, I was having a pity party. You know, it's cold in the gym. It's that December lull. We're trying to get new members in. All of a sudden I was like, fuck, those aren't even problems, dude. Those are blessings.
I have a visceral reaction. I think really dark thoughts when someone tells me that they were raped.
Like about the person like doing like harm to the individual that did it.
I have really dark thoughts. It's so crazy, and I'm not a dark person at all.
You know what's weird?
I have really, really fucking like I feel
yeah, like kidnap them, put them in the closet, just open it every now and then just to beat them and torture them and just kind of let them in there until they die on their own.
I immediately go to them being dead and how I would get away with it.
Yeah.
How can I kill someone without getting caught? My brain just goes there. It's so fucking. It's not comfortable for me. That's fucking for sure. It's so fucking Such a trip.
Yeah, you know what's weird too?
What
is
kind
like,
of monster brings that fucking guy back?
Well, see, that's the thing. So I told you a while back, my buddy from high school, my really good friend Nick. You met him briefly on the Beer 30, and it's like, he had a girlfriend that a stepdad that was doing it to her and her sister, but she was much older. She was like 16, and it had been going on for years, and it was the same situation where the mom was just in complete denial, and then almost like attacked the daughters for coming out and saying, "I see what you guys are doing. You're ruining this whole situation, and you're making a big deal out of this." And it was like, what the fuck? Like, how could you even take that position? But it's unfortunately it's a little bit more common than you would think. And I think
I've heard it a bunch.
And I think you said it you hit the nail on the head when you were like, well, if they just live in denial's a real thing. You could push that shit down and just fucking go about your life as much as you can. And I think that if they push that person out, they have to accept it. And if they accept it, they have to accept the responsibility of the act, right? Like you said, you're being complicit,
right.
Therefore, I mean,
right. You invited the wolf into the den with your kids. Call her hi.
Oh, we got.
Yo, what up, Joe?
What's up, dude?
How we do? What's up, Caesar? What's up, Sevan? How we doing, folks?
Good. I'm feeling like a douchebag for not adjusting my camera before the show. Like, I got the top of my computer monitor here. I'm not centered. Other than that, I'm great. I'm really excited. I was really nervous about the podcast this morning.
I think you all did a pretty great job, man. Honestly,
thank you. So do I.
It's cool that you brought on. I mean, I'd never expect you to. I've never seen that type of podcast before. Honestly, it's pretty cool, man. Y'all are definitely branching out, so no one can call y'all whatever, phobe this, blank that anymore. Now you got social clout.
Thank you.
But
Awesome. Question
for you guys, honestly, I'm trying to make sense of this. I am glad that she's back safe, but the merchant of death for a civilian, she has to be a spy. Like that's the one thing I can think that would make this plausible or even remotely logical. She's got to be a spy, and they said we're gonna put you in Russia, you'll get nabbed, and then we'll come get you. Like that is the only way that this can make any sense.
God, can you imagine using her as a spy, a 6'9" black woman? Who, I mean, like basically what you're saying is you choose someone who's so obviously not a spy, and so you make them a spy so they never think about it. Fuck, I don't know. Hey, bro, I saw something yesterday that Joe Biden said. He said, by any means, I'm paraphrasing, but by any means necessary, we need to protect transgender children. Think about the word fuckery of that. Transgender children is like saying,
protect Santa Claus by all means.
Yeah, there's no such thing as a transgender child.
Right.
There's no such thing. And I think she did a great job of articulating that. How did a child get the identity of transgender? You're protecting an abomination that a fucking mentally ill adult created.
Facts. Like kids have a very.
So the fact that the president of the United States would say that, the fact that our president of the United States would juxtapose those two words together to give the illusion that such a thing exists as a transgender child is psychopath.
It's all votes.
It's all votes.
Fucking psychopath. Now,
you're right.
What Micah Parsons tweet, we're still not voting for you either way, even though you got Brittany Griner out of jail. Like, black folks are still not voting for you, bro. I don't care.
What kind of folks? What'd you say, black folks?
Yeah, Micah Parsons tweeted when Brittany Griner got out, and we still ain't voting for you, Joe. So whatever, good job, but you're not getting our votes.
Are you black guy? Are you black guy?
But I'm as black as it gets.
Oh shit, God, you sound exactly like my friend Travis Bajent. You sound like a West Virginia white guy.
Bro, I can spell West Virginia, so I'm probably not from West Virginia.
What did you say about West Virginia?
I can actually spell West Virginia, so I'm probably not from
there. Hey,
I'm sorry, West Virginians. I'm sorry.
but I do have a when I put on my daddy hat, I am happy for Griner's parents. I really am.
Oh, sure, same. I'm so glad she got back. A penal colony, no one should be there.
Yeah,
it's horrible.
Oh yeah.
But I just think under the circumstances that I just feel like Russia played this administration and realized, oh hey, they got voted in because of the woke, black women, black people, like minority vote. And if they don't double down on that, they're going to get screwed come 2024, whenever the next presidential election is. And so we have to get her out of there or we risk losing power. So it's great she got out. But I mean, like if anybody has any, like just think for a second and look at the optics, it's pretty obvious what's happening here, that we got played and now they got back this guy who literally sells death for a living. And then we got back Brittany Griner, which is fantastic, but like that's like trading an ant for a tiger.
Hey, how did you figure all this out? How did you wake up? Were you towing the party line for a while?
I mean, so where I grew up, it was like Sevan, you and I are very similar actually in that sense. Immigrants, very like my household was very, very like blue. Oh, Democrats all the way. And during the whole like BLM, George Floyd thing, I was this close to getting sucked into like the shadow realm of all that. And then one day I was like, hold up a second, this like some stuff isn't adding up. And the fact that it turns, oh, well, you're a black guy, I can help you. You need my help. Who said I needed your help? You let me take care of me. Like I'd rather die on my own terms. I'll go down swinging. I don't need you to save me or to riot for me or to be offended for me. I'd rather just, look at life from my own perspective, my own biases, my own point of view, and make an informed decision. And from there, it just kind of like evolved, I suppose, into just seeing things as, hey, either it's crap or it's not crap. I don't care if you're Republican or Democrat. If it's BS, it's BS.
Mm-hmm.
How could there be a bronze statue of fucking George Floyd, but there not be a fucking Statue of Liberty the size of Denzel Washington? That's the kind of shit that fucking blows me away.
It's not. Like I've listened to your podcast. I didn't even know like he was. I guess his background. I mean, no one deserves to die that way. So I'm not disputing that. No one should ever die that way,
right?
Or be treated that way. I didn't know his background, I suppose. But what I will say is, it's what do you call it? It's convenient. Denzel Washington is like the well-to-do, good-looking. I mean, whatever. Yeah, good-looking guy. Yeah. Like well-to-do, successful, done great for himself.
High moral fiber. Doesn't do love scenes because he's married.
Right, like all of the above. So it's not going to be as sexy or as trendy on Twitter or whatever to have like the really great, successful black guy as a statue versus the, oh, look, that's a black guy we can help because, black people are just like that.
You named it. Wow, you just said it. Yep. It's the black guy you can help. Only the people that we can help, doesn't matter if you're black or white, are the ones. Yeah, that's crazy.
It's ridiculous.
Celebrate the victims, not the wow. So I had it explained to me like this. When I was a kid, it was Republicans supported rich people and the Democrats supported poor people. And then when I got older, it fucking made sense to me once I did the math. Republicans want people to be rich. Democrats want to keep people poor because it's how their ideologies function.
Keep them dependent.
Yeah, to keep them dependent.
Give me a fair shake. Get out of the way. Like, what would Kobe do on the court? Is like hand signal. Give me the ball and get the hell out of the way. I'm going to the hole.
Yeah.
Give me the ball. Give me a fair shake. And if I fail, fine, I fail. But I'd rather fail going as best as I could than just. It's almost like you feed a person a fish for a day, they eat. Teach them to fish, eat forever.
Yep.
Teach me to fish. Don't just feed me and leave me to be dependent on you. That is not how life works.
Do you have kids?
Handouts are good. If you need help, fine, help.
Right.
At some point, you cannot keep taking handouts. You got to get it on your own, bro. That's life. Is it a pleasant reality? No, but those are the rules. You have to get it, or just sit around and do nothing and just collect checks. And then what do you make of your life at that point?
Do you have kids?
No, I don't have kids. Not yet. One day, maybe.
It's interesting just how smart you are without kids. I just feel like when people have kids, it fucking they got to level up they got to get rid of that victim shit. Devesh Maharaj. This guy says. This guy says.
So I grew up poor. We had to learn quick.
Yep, there it is.
Devesh Maharaj, immigrant in a completely Democrat family. I recently got my citizenship and voted in the last election. My mom said she was disappointed in me when she found out I registered Republican. I hear you.
He and I sound very similar. I'm not Republican. I'm actually independent. I'm not Republican or Democrat. But like my parents, you gotta vote blue. They Democrats care about black people. I said, oh, word? Okay, cool.
Hey, even if you look at the history of the Democratic Party, I know they like to say that the script is flipped, but every single all the racist origins of this country come from that party. And so I don't give a fuck what you say. It's like,
Right.
it's a fucking,
I don't buy it.
we live in a
personally.
fucking bizarro world, dude. Hey,
This
what
is like,
state
have
do
you
you
ever
live
heard-
in? What state do you live in?
So I grew up in the DC, Maryland area. I'm currently living in Utah.
Oh shit. So you grew up in a pretty hard area. Are you Mormon now?
No, sir.
Oh.
Nah, man.
You're
I am
never,
not
you're
Mormon.
never going to get married in Utah unless you're Mormon. You better get over to the tabernacle.
I didn't come here to get married, brother. I came here to get paid.
Right. Right. So you grew up in a tough area. Did you say DC, Baltimore?
No, DC, like Bethesda, like Northwest DC, like Silver Spring, really. I just went to school in Bethesda because we were kind of in that region.
Right.
It wasn't like I won't call it like the hood or anything. It was a little sketchy when I first started living there growing up, but I wouldn't by any means call it like a South side Chicago or like a Baltimore or anything. If you're stupid enough, sure, you can get into some trouble, but if you have decent deductive reasoning, you should be able to kind of mind your own business and just don't go where you're not supposed to go if you're not from there, pretty much. Just typical, like, living in a city. Just smarts, I guess.
How did you find this podcast?
I mean, I've been CrossFitting. I started messing around with CrossFit in 2015, right out of college, and then you were the head of media, so I was watching all the different docs, different movies and whatnot. And so I saw you had with Matt and Josh first, and then you had your own. And so I just kept watching it. It kept growing, and so like you want to Palooza stuff, you buy stuff. I thought y'all do a pretty good job, and you talk about some hilarious content, and you're pretty brash, and you keep pretty straightforward, which I appreciate. Nothing is, I guess, fluffed up or whatever you want to call it, whatever the best way is to describe that. So yeah, just kept watching, tuning in.
Well, I really appreciate it, and I appreciate you calling in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man.
You're a good dude.
Hey, just for the coffee. Appreciate y'all. Well, I guess y'all are Paper Street now, so I guess we can redact that last statement.
Awesome.
All right, man.
Appreciate y'all.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Take it easy. Bye.
Bye. Could talk to that dude all day long.
Yeah, that was a great caller. And you know what's funny too is like usually when callers go that long, you start to see it in the comments. People are like, okay, next, and people are loving it. This guy's awesome. Send this guy a link. Like it was a lot of great stuff. Great caller. Great show in general today. Really good show.
The thing is this, the one of the most powerful things is this also, to help understand what the Democrats want to do. Who do you want to give your money to? Do you want to spend your money yourself? So if you do you want to spend your money at CrossFit Livermore? Or would you rather not go to CrossFit Livermore, pay more in taxes, and put faith in your politicians to spend your money for you? Because that you have to see in the most simplistic sense, that is exactly what's going on. If you vote Democrat, you lose the power of the vote that your dollar makes. They allow you to keep more of your money. They lower the barrier of entry for all business. For all of the things that you can do in the world with money, Democrats put up barriers to it. I don't mean that in a negative way, and they do it in the guise of protecting you. So they collect more taxes so they can pay it to the poor. They put up more barriers to opening small businesses so they can protect you. It's all in the sense to protect you, but it has to filter through that big machine that's the government. So you pay your taxes, Joe Biden takes his cut, and then the 1,000 people between Joe Biden and the guy wearing the fucking orange jacket on your city streets,
The
who's
money
building your
evaporates.
roads, it gets filtered through 1,000 people, giving the simplistic vision. Obviously, it doesn't go straight to Joe Biden, but you know what I'm saying? It pays everyone at the top, and then it comes all the way down. And after it filters through 1,000 politicians, and you have to remember, politicians are no different than people on welfare. They're basically people just raising their hand, trying to take from our taxes.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not saying that there aren't some valid people in there looking out for us, but the vast majority of that is a bureaucracy that takes your money, and then finally it shows up on your city street to fill a pothole.
Mm-hmm.
Or would you rather just go pay? Would you rather just some kid be nice to you at Starbucks and give him a tip and reward him for his behavior and train people yourself? I prefer to train people myself. I think I'm really fucking good at it. To reward, if you let me keep my money, I'll reward the right people. There's no such thing as wasting money. You have to know that. That's a misnomer. That's like saying transgender kids. There is no There's nothing there's no buying a Lamborghini or a wedding ring. There's probably things that you're better off that you do with your money, but money never gets wasted. As long as people are spending it, the economy keeps rolling forward. Don't fall for any of these tricks. It doesn't matter if some Republican buys a super fucking Trident missile system. That money's not wasted. It creates thousands of jobs. And as long as the economy's churning, it's fine. It will find the right way. But the trust has to be put back in the people.
And it wouldn't even be as terrible if it was just our tax dollars, but they're borrowing from our future and your future and the debt to the other countries. So it's not even like it's like you pay your dollar in taxes and they're going to spend $1. You pay your dollar in taxes and they spend $10. Your dollar now and 9 of your future dollars.
Will says Democrats are the problem. Look at the upcoming generation, 18 to 30-year-olds. They're 70% Democrat. This is going to get worse. I don't know.
Well, here's the thing. Ask yourself, what's the largest ran state-funded institution in the United States?
Oh, schools. So they're just brainwashing to make more Democrats.
Bingo. Well, what's the culture throughout schools? The invisible layer of the Padilla.
That is the largest cultural institution. Is
not cultural institution, but that's the largest ran state. It has more money than the defense budget.
Crazy.
And then ask yourself, why are test scores getting worse? Why are schools why the fuck are teachers buying their own supplies and trying to give the resources that they need to have the kids have the education? And it's because we're hiring more and more administrative people and everything else. And the money doesn't even funnel to education. And
Will, we're not too late. Stop it, Will.
There's never such thing as too late. Too late. It's just a mindset. But it's one of those situations where that needs to be unraveled, and we really have to question. And the thing is, you can't question it, right? Because you're not a doctor. You're not a school administrator. So you what do you know? You can't ask those questions. And it's like, no, you should ask those questions. And it also, school needs a massive upgrade. It's just taught to memorize, systematize.
And so Will's saying that he did mean democracy. We can't vote our way out of this.
It's never going to be a vote. It's going to be personal responsibility and people starting within their own local communities and getting involved into those politics, which you can make a direct influence on with the people in you and your city council. And then it's going to start to spread out from there.
It was $350 billion, Eric. I heard him say Biden to inject new energy. I heard $350 billion to Africa. Biden, $8 billion. That's why I know that's a lie. We're not giving $350 billion to Africa. I promise you.
Did you hear about the fusion over here at my Livermore Lawrence lab? Hop, skip, and a jump away from the gym.
No, what happened?
They created fusion.
Oh, no.
I don't know.
They always say, you mean cold fusion?
I don't know enough about it.
They always say that there's always some jackass who claims they've done cold fusion. That pops up every couple years.
No, but this is like this. Oh, okay. Well, it pops up every couple years. I was going to say this was pretty widespread like news. And the guy who was the head of the project over here at Lawrence Livermore was like really excited about its future implication.
Everything you need to know about nuclear fusion and how it works. Nuclear fusion happens when two or more atoms are fused into one larger one. A process that generates massive amounts of energy is heat, something scientists hope to be able to harness. As opposed to the way they do nuclear energy now is they split an atom. This is fusing two together.
Yeah, and apparently it was like,
wow,
whatever the power of the laser was, was like 2 and it output 3. So it got like a net positive 1. And again, I have not researched this, so I probably really shouldn't even do it until I look into it a little bit more. But apparently,
I'll help you out here, Souza. I'm a scientist.
Awesome. Put your
Armenians are very smart. Let me just think for a second. Let me see. And a huge donut-shaped machine called the tokamak, outfitted with giant magnets. Scientists working near Oxford, where they just changed the definition of woman, right? No. Oxford.
Yeah,
we're able to generate a record-breaking amount of sustained energy. Even so, it only lasted 5 seconds. Mm-hmm. Well, I'm able to do that too. Actually, I'm able to put a huge amount of energy out at any one given time, but it usually lasts only a few seconds.
The first
easy, Sevan. Easy what? Easy what? Okay. Thank you, Jessica. Thank you. Trust the science. I don't. Tomorrow.
Brian
Tomorrow I'm
Friend.
trying to get Brian Friend on for a morning show, all things CrossFit. I'm gonna ask him what the fuck is going on over at the Morning Chalk Up. I'm gonna ask him all about Roman Krennikov. I'm hearing rumors that he has changed coaches and he's at a new place. I'm gonna ask him how did they pick their national champions this year. I'm going to ask him why he is not the commentator for Wadapalooza. I'm going to ask him a bunch of questions. What is going on in the world of CrossFit and Brian Friend's life? So hopefully I can get him on tomorrow at 7 a.m. and we can talk about that. All right. Maybe I'll do 2 shows tomorrow. I'm so excited to be back in my studio.
Yeah, you're in your place again. Okay, I got to pee so bad.
Okay. Bye, guys. Thank you so much. Everyone have a good day. Boom.